Hi, I'm Alec. This is Trev. Welcome to episode 4 of Beanscast. Before we get started, if you want to join the discussion, you can follow us on Twitter at BeanscastPod, or you can join the Discord, link in the description. We want to start things out by talking about what we're drinking today. So, Trev, what are you drinking today?
Hi, hello, Alec. I today am drinking a beer. I'm drinking a beer. It's a little off-brand, but it's an African amber ale. Let me get it's this way. I don't know what makes it an African amber ale. There's a lot of words on the back that I could read that might give me a little more information, but that's what I'm drinking. I also have water because hydration is important.
Hydration is important. I am drinking Cortado, made with some orbital motion espresso from Brandywine Coffee Roasters, which is like the go-to in this house.
That's a lot of words, I'm not gonna lie.
It's a lot of words. It's a lot of words. A lot of words. It is made with whole milk because whole milk is better than fake milk. I'm just going for it.
Milk is gross, so okay.
Yep, love it. And then I also have some sparkling water with some lime and some mint in it. So
Hydration.
It's like a cocktail, but not.
I mean, okay.
Listen, episode 2, Alec, will come back again at some point, but not today.
We all love episode 2, Alec. That was great. The real ones know.
Okay.
I'm already being called out for not drinking a bean product. Everyone's right. Everyone in chat is correct. I'm not drinking a bean product. It is from a grain.
Do they make bean alcohol? Like, the only thing I can think of is soy sauce. That's not alcoholic.
Yeah, I don't think they do. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could ferment bean juice.
Yeah.
I could be drinking like an espresso. I just finished an iced coffee. It's a lovely 70-degree day today.
It's like
just absolutely gorgeous.
So it's like the Wisconsin version of that right now. It's like a 55-degree day, which is
everyone's in shorts and a t-shirt.
Oh yeah. I'm a weirdo in a sweatshirt right now, but
that's fantastic.
People will be in like shorts and a t-shirt in like 30-degree weather around here because they're insane. I call that aggressively heterosexual. Personally. You could have spiked your iced coffee. Ben is right.
I could have. I mean, you don't know that I didn't.
Classy Four Loko. Always going back to the Classy Four Locos.
Funny enough, one of my IRL friends, no offense to, my non-IRL friends, not to like designate you all.
Damn
but
guys.
He started
just
ribbing
under
me
the
about
bus.
That. He started ribbing me about that. So thank you.
About Four Loko? Oh, yeah. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
I was reading chat and I got distracted. I did the thing we said we weren't gonna do, which was reference that aspect of chat in the video.
We're learning. We're learning.
No offense.
Alex and I were just talking about this before we started. I think a big part of this is to just do it, and that's how you get better, is by doing it and by learning. So that's what we're trying to do. And Ben, Four Loko is legal now, but not the Four Loko from when I was a kid. It's a different
No. It is a very, very different product.
Yeah. Zoomers would be dead. Zoomers can't handle Four Loko.
It would send you to the hospital.
Could you imagine Four Loko during COVID when everyone was like stuck in a peak COVID? Oh my God, dude.
People ordering cases of Four Loko to their house.
Everyone, you would destroy your house too, because when that level of drunk and caffeine energy mix, it's just so toxic. Nothing. You'd be
shitting in the tubs. Shitting in the tub.
It's like that episode of Schitt's Creek. You're sleeping in the tub tonight.
I mean, it's true. It's very true.
Fantastic.
It's great. All right.
So, Alec, we do occasionally talk about video games on this podcast.
We do?
Certainly not the main thing we talk about.
No.
Is there any video games you've been playing recently?
I literally have only turned my Switch on for Pokemon. And as previously established, the PS5 is not for playing video games. It is for sitting somewhere
Well,
looking
we
obnoxious.
well, time out. We did discover another very arguably more beneficial use for the PS5. Came up in topic this weekend.
Telling you that you don't know how to turn it off?
That's a Blu-ray player.
Oh, yeah, it is a Blu-ray player. So I actually, thank you for bringing that up, because I was reading those and I was like, I have to talk about this on the podcast. Before I lived with Red, I had never owned a DVD or Blu-ray player because I always just had a PlayStation console that did those things. So like, and then I moved here and he had a Blu-ray player and I was like, who are you? Who owns a Blu-ray player?
That's a great question. I've never known somebody to own an individual Blu-ray player either.
Yeah. Well, and like, so like when the PS3 came out, my brother worked at Circuit City and he would sell families PS3s because it was cheaper and better than Blu-ray players.
That's why it's one of the biggest selling points when I bought a PS3. That was one of the biggest selling points for me personally, was that I was like, yo, Blu-rays are the wave. That's going to be the future for sure. It wasn't. Shocker. Spoiler alert.
I mean, it was the temporary future.
It wasn't though. It literally wasn't. Like it Blu-rays had less of a societal impact than like CDs.
Oh, absolutely. But
You
that's
know?
because they came about at the same time as we were all going digital.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. The leap in quality from DVD to Blu-ray wasn't great enough to surpass the convenience of digital when digital came out.
Absolutely.
And so Blu-rays never really got a hold. Like I own 0 Blu-rays. I own 0.
Yeah, me too. there's no Blu-rays.
Those are DVDs for sure.
They're mostly DVDs. They are mostly DVDs. There are definitely Blu-rays in this house though, because you know, Red works at an establishment that is a used book and everything media establishment, and he gets things basically at a quarter of their original price at most.
That's a good deal.
So he just comes home with shit.
Because Blu-rays used to be so expensive too, because DVDs would be like 15 to 20 bucks, but Blu-rays could be like what 40? I mean, it was almost double, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe that's when they were
pretty
brand
bad.
new. Yeah.
When they were brand new, Blu-rays and what was HD DVD?
No,
Is that what it was called?
Was that a thing? I thought that was the Blu-ray. I thought that was the
No, there's two. There was two. So, all right, history for everyone here.
Go off, King.
In the early 80s, there was VHS, late 70s, whatever. There was VHS and there was Betamax. VHS was the inferior, cheaper product. Betamax were better, but they were more expensive. VHS ended up winning because of porn. Because since it was cheaper and more easily accessible, porn studios were putting
That's what they used.
pornographic films on VHS, so you didn't have to go to a theater and watch porn with other people anymore.
You could do
watch
it
it in your own home.
The privacy of your own home.
Because prior to VHS, you had to watch porn in a theater.
Pee Wee Herman effect.
Exactly.
For those who don't know.
And yeah, it wasn't even legal to take it out because you're in a public space.
Which is reasonable, but then why are you doing this?
Why are you doing it? So that's why VHS won.
Honestly, watching porn like just for like the story or whatever is pretty psychotic behavior. I'm not gonna lie. That's crazy shit.
But like VHS, Betamax had like the backing of like a lot of different production companies because it was a better product.
Higher quality. So it supports the medium better.
Yeah.
But
so when we came around to HD DVDs versus Blu-ray, Blu-ray was the better product. And the way that they ended up winning is because they went to studios first. And so like, you know, by this point, porn had already moved on to where we all are with everything, which is digital.
That's where you're watching us right now, folks.
So porn didn't matter in this equation. And Blu-ray,
wasn't that also a big driving force for the internet though as well?
For internet and streaming, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, so like it played its own role there as well, just not with the Blu-rays.
If you want to look at where visual technology especially is headed, you look to porn.
Right. Wasn't that a big deal with Apple's? I feel like I remember back in the day it was like a big deal because whatever media format all the porn uploaded to, Apple like didn't support. It was like a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny.
So the thing I forgot to say is Betamax was a Sony product.
Yeah, real beta
and
company.
So Sony lost to porn.
Paperweight making ass company.
And Blu-ray is also initially a Sony product, I believe. And so they went to big studios first before they hit the marketplace and were like, hey, Disney, put all your shit on Blu-ray. And so they won.
And actually, Sardi just put in chat, doesn't Sony still own most of the Blu-ray patent? Everyone who presses a Blu-ray disc has to pay Sony for the privilege.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because who's still pressing Blu-ray discs?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who does that? There's got to be a market. I couldn't tell me who though.
Couldn't tell me who at all.
No ideas, no guesses.
I think this is mostly DVDs.
We got here. I just want to remind you from talking about what games we are playing.
How did we?
You PS5 man, and it's a Blu-ray player first and foremost.
Got it. Yeah. You know what? I don't even.
Well,
think
it's a paperweight first and foremost.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually watched a Blu-ray on this because my PS4 is still plugged into the TV.
Oh my god! So you own a PS5, but the PS4 is the one that's plugged in.
Well, the PS5 is plugged into my desk setup because that's where I play games at this point anyway. Like, there's a dock connected to the TV, but pretty much Red uses that, and I have a dock connected to one of my monitors. My PS5 is also connected to that monitor. So
got it. Also, you just got crispy again. So OBS must have figured its thing out. Yeah.
Okay. I haven't caught up with that on watching the Twitch, but that's okay.
That's fantastic.
That's but yeah, so
mostly you're just doing Pokemon raids. Have you gotten any? You got a shiny recently with AJ.
Yes.
On an AJ stream. What was that? What was any good?
I don't know. I don't think so because
I don't even think it was a good shiny. Yeah.
You know what? I already have it pulled up because I'm prepared.
I don't. I'm not prepared.
Well, one of us has to be. It was an Araquanid, which I do think is a good shiny, but I already had one. So I guess hit me up if you want a shiny Araquanid.
Alex so generous with his shinies. This man, unprompted, traded me a shiny Scyther just for shits and giggles, and then gave me a shiny Ho just out of the kindness of his heart. What a fucking hero! Alec is a hero. He's the hero we all need.
Please don't advertise. I'm a cold-hearted man. Cold-hearted. But no, most of my free time this week has been eaten by streaming.
You've been streaming a lot this week, yeah.
Yes, I made Imperial Dramon.
Do you have it on the desk there? Do you want to show it off? Of course.
He wasn't on the desk. He was on the cat's scratching post / hidey hole thing that they never go in because they're cats and they refuse to do anything you actually want them to do. So that's Imperial Dramon.
In fact, they do the opposite generally. It's like they know.
Exactly. And then I have half of a Magnamon.
Still work in progress. WIP.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. I was going to finish it, but it felt rude, specifically to AJ.
Because
he likes Vmon, and this is Vmon in gold armor.
Okay, well, that's kind of sick. You did stream, 4 times this week? Because you also did a cooking stream.
I did a cooking stream. We did the Proto kitchen stream. The next one will be better, because I've been meaning to trade in my tablet that I don't ever use and get, a semi-decent laptop for a while. And after that stream, I was like, I should just do this.
Do it.
Because then I can I can run the stream through that semi-decent laptop. And life will be so much easier. I mean, it also would have been easy if I had still been using Streamlabs and I could use the Streamlabs app to control
Nah, boo.
my stream.
Nah, boo.
That was a pretty cool thing about Streamlabs.
We gotta shame this man. Streamlabs is a bad company. We can't support Streamlabs. Bad company. They steal software and try to, for open source free software and try to charge people for it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But I need Stream Elements to make to copy that app.
Nah,
that's it.
Nah. It's open source. It's free. Streamlabs wants you to pay.
The app was free?
Yeah, bad company. Bad company. L
That's
company.
fine. That's fine. I don't know enough. I'm not going to try and defend them. I'm just saying the app was convenient and that I could control my stream from my phone.
That's a fact.
I could do scene transitions. Whatever.
There was a really like the straw that broke the camel's back was when they quite literally stole like a press release from another company and just changed some of the words around a little bit. And it was like the whole meme was like, yeah, you can copy my homework, but like change it a little bit, you know? And it was literally that. And that company called it out. They were like, so you guys are literally just copying us?
Good.
It's just shady,
stuff.
bad capitalist bullshit, you know? Standard.
Yeah. Sounds pretty great. You know what it sounds a lot like?
What's that?
It sounds a lot like something that Republicans would do.
Ugh, my favorite
country. Doesn't it? Like maybe something that like Madison Cawthorn might do.
Oh, we have an update on that guy.
We have an update. The update is that he lost his primary.
He got primary.
He was successfully primaried.
Yep.
It does. I mean, first of all, joy at the fact that as of January 2023, Madison Cawthorn will not be at all even the slightest bit responsible for lawmaking in the United States.
Somebody cue the like woo sound alert, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's good because he's insane.
Yep. L plus ratio plus he's a weird ass motherfucker.
Yeah, just weird. And not for the reasons that the Republicans want you to think he's weird.
No. He's actually just a terrible human being.
He's actually just an atrocious human being. Trev, do you want to read us / maybe show? I don't know if you're set up for that.
Real quick, I do want to also mention that I saw that an implication that goes along with this because of the length of time that he's been an elected official, he loses a potential pension because he lost this re-election.
Good.
So like he literally lost a payment for life situation, which is amazing.
It's amazing.
That's karma. And yeah,
I should. 2 years of work is not enough for a pension.
Agreed. It's certainly not enough for a pension.
And also like work. Yeah.
Let me come here. Okay, so we have a tweet, I guess it was an Instagram post where Madison Cawthorn labeled a bunch of individuals and then went on this crazy rant where he basically says these are the people that protected him when the Republicans came for him, and it's time for the rise of the new Reich. I mean, right. It's time for Dark MAGA to truly take command.
Dark MAGA. This man, Hitler on Maine. Like
Hitler on Maine, dude.
Just full on, like not hiding it. Just here I am. Heil Trump.
Like, and if you look at the people he's naming too, like it is the most absolute hardcore crazy motherfuckers. Tucker
it's all
Carlson,
the other
Magic the
all
Gathering,
the other Hitler on Maine,
DJT. It's all the other Hitler on Maine people. Imagine still coming and defending Matt Gaetz.
Oh my God! Like I don't understand that at
all. The NRA. I don't get just the NRA.
the Matt Gaetz of it all is hilarious to me because that man like child trafficking. 100%. It's all out there.
No, but Alec, they're the party that cares about the children.
Oh my God.
This is actually a perfect segue. This is a perfect segue into
We're
another.
segueing so good today.
Our segues are on point today. This is a great segue into another topic that we wanted to talk about baby formula, because there's a massive baby formula shortage in the United States, because baby formula, which is a vital necessity for the future of humanity, because for several reasons that we don't need to get into, but it's a capitalist society that we live in, and like 4 companies make all of the baby formula, which is necessity for the survival of the human race. I guess we'll say America, because it's not as capitalist controlled in other places.
Yeah.
But one of those, Abbott company, had to shut down a plant because they had chosen for several years to ignore the failing state of the equipment. And this caused bacterial issues. And I believe at least 2 children died as a direct result of this. Which is too many. When it's something that should be absolutely safe, when we have the capacity to make it safe. And keep in mind, this wasn't a profit margin issue, because Abbott had paid billions of dollars in buybacks to stock shareholders.
So, like, some of the groundwork here. FDA has strict regulations on baby formula in the U.S.
Which
so, like,
they
we can't just get it from other places, because it doesn't necessarily meet those regulations. It should be highly regulated. It is the only food source going to little kids.
Yep.
Most of the time. But there's definitely some shadiness of the fact that only 4 companies are able to do that.
Well, but also keep in mind that the North American Free Trade Agreement that the United States used to be a part of actually used to allow us to import baby formula from places like Canada. But when the previous president, I don't even want to say the man's name, was president of the country, he renegotiated that, because he's a go-getter negotiator, contract, and we can no longer legally import baby formula from Canada, from countries like Canada. So even though they do meet our FDA standards, it's a trade issue, because capitalism.
This man had a real great track record of just dismantling things, and then like a year or so later, those things being vital necessities.
It's amazing.
Like a pandemic response team.
It's amazing.
Wouldn't it have been so great to have a robust, functioning pandemic response team?
No, because
2020?
Pandemics aren't real. Sickness isn't real.
I forgot. We all just have
the cold.
The power cold of Christ is what heals you.
It do be compelling you.
It do be compelling. But yeah, so there was a vote in the House of Representatives to put up $28 million for funding to help us get baby formula.
I again have to interject, though. The insanity that money is keeping this from being resolved. Capitalism.
I mean, we don't spend
capitalism,
much,
dude.
But like, we're a really, really like fiscally conservative nation, Trev. It's not like we're spending billions and billions of dollars on something like a military that we rarely use for things that are good for this earth.
We do be needing big missiles.
Jesus. and fancy boats.
Fancy boats.
So
yeah, there was a vote. There was a vote to provide the money to allow the necessary functional repairs to be made to reopen the plant.
And how do we think this vote went down?
Well, surely everyone voted yes. This can't even be a controversial topic. We're talking about babies. Everyone loves babies. They're helpless.
So on the Democrat side, we had 219 in favor.
Of course. Just makes sense.
So that's basically all of them. No one nay. So on the Republican side, we had 192 in favor. Oh, sorry. That's the nay column. 192 Republicans voted against this bill. 12 Republicans voted for it. Bravo to those 12 people for really just having a conscience that day.
Several people on Twitter have said that the Republicans forcing you to have children and then not willing to vote for the formula to be made.
Shocking. It's almost like it's not about the babies at all.
Alec.
But maybe it's about control.
Alec, how dare.
how dare I imply that that they're not actually protecting the lives of unborn children, but merely controlling the life of the woman who is housing them. Who would have thought?
No comment.
So the bill passed without support of the RNC.
Mm-hmm.
And then, someone had to comment on this, which very, very sane Republican Party member do you think just went off the rails about this?
All of them? Oh, but the one in particular.
Yeah. Good old Magic the Gathering.
Good old MTG, baby.
Good old Magic the Gathering. So what did she have to say? Well, she went on to blame WIC, which is an assistance program that helps poor moms buy baby formula, for contributing to the supply shortage of baby formula. The WIC program, in quotes, quoted, the WIC program is making it more difficult for parents not on WIC to buy baby formula. Do you know what WIC stands for, Trev?
Why don't you enlighten me, Alec? Why don't you let me know?
Women, Infants, and Children. It is a program specifically designed so poor people can feed their kids.
Poor people aren't real Americans. That's what you don't understand.
It's true. It's so true.
They don't deserve things.
How dare poor people need things? How dare. Those poors.
I just like AJ so concisely put in chat. Republicans love fetuses, hate babies.
Absolutely.
It's just a fact. They love fetuses, they hate babies, and they hate mothers.
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as that baby is born, you get no support or assistance. And in fact, it's your fault for wanting or expecting any sort of help. How dare you? This is America. You're not pulling hard enough on those fucking bootstraps, lady.
Yeah. Pull harder.
Pull harder.
Thrill put in the chat. Stop buying that Starbucks. Damn.
That's true. That's true. You got to stop buying Starbucks.
But that's for a different reason. Because they bust unions. So fuck them.
Yeah, Beanscast is coming out as pro-union, guys. It's going to be a shocker.
Shocking state of affairs, but we are pro-union here. And so the only Starbucks that you can patronize right now are, fortunately, there's about 78 of them in the nation that you can go to that have
It's up to 78 now?
That have unionized. Oh, yeah.
That's a lot.
That's counting the ones that have had votes, and those votes have passed.
That's actually impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's a company of like 4,000 stores, so.
Wait,
it is very impressive.
I think I sent you something on Twitter that I want to.
Are not all pro-union. Like all people, Ben? You'd think they would be. But the fear-mongering is really good about explaining to you why unions are bad. And by explaining, I mean lying to you about why unions are bad. And they're like, your union dues, they're going to cost so much. And
look at any representation of unions in popular media. They are essentially portrayed as gangsters.
Yeah.
And mobsters. That is what the media is. Not the media, but that is what they, them, that is what they are trying to get you to believe about unions.
Eric, I don't know if the unionized stores are not getting pay raises. It could be that they're doing that, which is illegal, except they can argue their way around it being illegal because they can just say, well, we're giving raises to all our other employees, but we're waiting until we sit down and renegotiate the contract to give raises to our unionized employees because we need to negotiate with them, which is just a really fucking shady way of just saying, hi, we're penalizing you for unionizing.
There was quite literally, I think, I believe it was Delta Airlines. I could be wrong, but it was one of the airlines quite literally in an effort to push an anti-union message, had signs put up for their employees. Wouldn't you rather buy the newest game system than pay those union dues? Like it's that level of like marketing.
Which is insane because
you'd have more money if you were in a union. You'd have higher wages.
Statistics show show that unionized employees make 30% more than employees in their same job sector that are not unionized.
And have better benefits, like
Yeah,
significantly better benefits.
significantly better benefits. But it's like what a union actually is like, hey, Joe, did you get your quarterly raise this year? Oh, no, I haven't gotten a raise in 6 months. Let me go fix that for you. Like, that's what a union is.
Exactly. So if you actually explain it to people, like, hey, if you work for a company, do you think you should have some say in what that company does with its profits and the general direction it moves in? Most people would say yes to that. But like, that's not how unions are framed to people.
And like, what happens when people are paid better and appreciated better at work? They stay at their job. They become more efficient. They make more money for the company. It it's a good thing.
Yep. I can't
You know,
emphasize enough that I work for a local utility company, and got hired in the call center. Okay. It's a call center. It's customer service. It is like the entry point of the company. It's not a high skilled job, quote unquote, but it's a union position. It pays exceptionally well. There are people quite literally working in that call center longer than I have been alive. They're still working in that call center.
yeah,
Because why leave? It's a good opportunity. It pays well. You get to leave at the end of the day, check out, and call it good. They've got good benefits. They get, there are people working in that call center who make almost $100,000 a year. That's insane.
yeah, that's insane. But
They've been there 30 years.
You know what your call center gets to save on? How often they have to
Turnover.
train new people.
100%.
Like, it is
100%.
so expensive to train a new employee in any job.
It's always more
In
expensive.
any job.
It's always more expensive.
Than just to retain somebody and pay them more.
Absolutely. But businesses will tiptoe around it because they'll say things like, oh, but employees who have been here, because they don't want change. It's like, well, change isn't always good. There's a lot of times that change actually is for a specific reason. And we could segue into another topic about utilities that we're going to talk about. But like utilities in specifically are incentivized to create projects that may or may not have any actual benefit, let's say, to the community, because they can then are allowed to expand a certain percentage of the overall cost as profit. So they create these capital projects that they get to pass the bill onto the taxpayers and the ratepayers, and they get to take a certain percentage of that as profit. So it incentivizes them to come up with projects that are irrelevant but that are expensive. And so you constantly want to change as a business, but that's not necessarily good. It's just because it's profit.
That sounds like a really great way for my tax dollars to be spent.
Well, and think about the fact that their public utilities are publicly traded. They have investors.
Yeah.
That is the most fucked up thing I've ever heard.
So like living in California, California has the two main electricity utilities. We've got PG&E, which everyone knows because they can't stop starting fires. And we have SoCal Edison. Where I'm from in Central California, the school year is designed to get kids in during the hottest months of the year because they're worried that their families aren't going to turn on the AC enough at home.
Yeah.
Because electricity is so expensive. My mom's electric bills for like a 1,200 square foot house when I was a kid would be like $300 a month.
See, and that's not sustainable. That's not at all sustainable.
No. And
this goes back to another issue about our whole power grid and how we shouldn't be relying on electricity that's not formed from renewable sources. Because if every house going forward was built with solar panels, guess what? AC would be in the time when you most need AC would be the most affordable.
Yeah, because the sun's fucking out.
It's amazing.
It's amazing how that works. Yeah, I mean, it's nuts. Like school started the first week of August, so that kids would be in school in an air conditioned environment.
Right, which is important when it's over 100 degrees outside.
Mm-hmm. We took like a month off essentially from like mid-December to January to make that work. But yeah, it's so the kids could get air conditioning. So yeah,
But
utilities. I mean, I know you have a different thing up. Which one do we want to go to?
well, I want to just because this was about socialism, and I'm on a kick right now because I think that about unions. Americans don't understand the power we have. We don't. Voting is fake. I mean, vote. It's important. Voting is a scam because everything is rigged. It is. I'm sorry, it is. Vote. It's important, but it's rigged. It's a broken system.
You're very right. Please vote.
Yeah, vote.
Please
vote.
understand that voting. That the system is rigged against you, but also 100%. Please still do it.
Vote. But it's rigged against you. But you know what you can do? You can fucking strike. So there's a town in Maine that was quite literally forced to shut the fuck down because one clerk quit. They wanted a 2-week vacation. They've been trying to get for like 6 months. And they kept going back and asking for the vacation, and it kept being denied. And they quit. And the town was shut down. And I was going through this article, and I was shocked to learn that not only is this one individual in charge of so many things, but they were a part-time employee making $13,500 per year.
It's so little.
And the article goes on to say, because fucking capitalism, of course, the only time anyone shows up anymore, they say, is to collect taxes. Quite literally.
Isn't Maine like one of the most expensive states to live in too?
Yes, absolutely, because it's a coastal fucking state. Like, yes. It's insane.
So we send each other this, I saw this and I thought I should send this to Trev and we should talk about it. And then I go to my Twitter inbox and it's just sitting there. I was like, oh, this is perfect. It's insane. Like,
it's absolutely insane. See, they say like in the article, the treasurer will be in a couple days a week to accept payments on things such as taxes. The statement read, "Please call the office before heading out to do any business here, as there are no designated hours of operation now. We will take your money, but we will not be there to assist you."
Don't worry. You can still give us money.
Is this not taxation without representation in the truest fucking form?
It's amazing. But here's the other thing. Because people have been so programmed to think like big government bad that this town has voted down multiple referendums to fund their town.
Right. So like, the reason go ahead.
The reason they're at this point is because the town continues to vote for spending less money on the town. Guess what, people? Services cost money. Like, you want to be able to, your town to do things? It's expensive.
Yeah,
our local taxes where I live are not cheap. But guess what? When it snows, the plows are out like that. I never have to worry. As someone who didn't grow up driving on snowy roads, like
in California, you didn't grow up driving on snowy roads?
You know, I avoided them. I just didn't drive from like December to April.
Yeah, that's shocker.
But I don't ever have to worry because our towns are plowed. I go to like 2 towns over, and like it'll be 4 days after a snowstorm, and the roads are still icy as shit. I'm like, people,
what are you doing
for snow removal?
Jesus. So this is the relevant point in the article that you're talking about. It's unclear when the town will be able to fill the vacant positions and reopen for business. In March, town residents rejected a budget article meant to fund town operations after town officials failed to adequately explain the reasoning for the proposed salary increase. How about the fact that nobody will do the fucking job? Is that not a valid reason for the proposed salary increase?
But it's so hard picturing adequately explaining this to people, especially like Jesus. This is a small town.
Like, what do you mean? Nothing's work. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah. This is a small town and an expensive state to live in. And so like those two combination of things to me pretty much scream like probably not a town of people with socialist tendencies.
And again, though, they do pay taxes still.
They do. They pay taxes, and they probably pay a decent amount of like
property taxes and shit. You know?
It's nuts. I don't get like a, a thing about the town I lived in California. For a while, we had a really high sales tax. Why did we have a high sales tax? Because we had one of the biggest outlet malls in California. And we're like, well, people are coming here. So
Tax them.
let's tax the shit out of them when they're here. And
Well,
it meant that we got taxed a little bit more in town. But if you really cared that much, you could drive to the next town over.
Well, see, and that's what, so Oregon sucks because they do the opposite. They tax residents. There is no sales tax.
Yeah.
So people come from neighboring states to make purchases in Oregon because it is worth it, especially if you live in like Vancouver, Washington, where I live. It's worth it to cross the bridge to buy like a TV or something. Like when my girlfriend and I got new iPhones, it was going to be like $600 in taxes or $300 or something in taxes.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, you just literally cross the bridge and then there's no taxes.
Yeah.
But
don't you guys have like
the
a
property
weird
tax is insane. Yep. The property taxes are so fucking high. You're looking at an extra $400 to $600. Like when I almost bought a condo. I want to stress this, a condo, and the property taxes were like an extra $400 to $600 a month. That's just for the condo. It was like 1,000 square feet. It was absolutely insane.
That means, so taking at like, let's say, so Wisconsin's sales tax is like 5.5. So in order to, you'd have to spend like, what would that be? You said $400 a month more. So you'd have to spend $8,000 to get to that level of sales tax.
It's insane.
To get to $400 in sales tax.
And again, that's you're nuts. Only taxing residents that way.
Yeah.
People who travel to the state end up contributing nothing to the GDP of the state.
No one goes to Portland, right? Like,
yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, definitely.
Who goes to Portland?
Christ. It's insane if you've never. I know you've been to Oregon.
I have.
Have you been to Oregon outside of Portland?
I had. My aunt lived in Southern Oregon.
Where? Oh,
it's like
where? Grants Pass or Medford?
Grants Pass.
Grants Pass, yeah. Baby. So you're familiar. People don't understand.
2 different states.
People don't understand. Everything outside of Portland is the deep south. Like, you don't understand. It is a high level of in-your-face racism and bigotry.
Like, well, I mean, all you need to know,
a lot of meth.
All you really need to know about Oregon is that it is, like, I mean, this is less of a thing now, but legal to buy and sell weed, and also legal to have an open carry. Same state.
Well, and so Grants Pass, it's not often considered and talked about in the same vein as like the Golden Triangle of California, but it's right in there, and they export a lot of cannabis out of that place.
Oh yeah,
they grow a lot of weed there.
Yeah, my aunt lived in Southern Oregon for a bit in the Grants Pass area, and so like I visited and I was like, what the fuck?
My ex-wife is from Grants Pass.
Okay,
so very familiar. Her family lived there when we were married, so we would go there, every couple months or whatever to visit. And yes, very familiar. Yep. Yeah, it's a whole different place. People don't, because it's this liberal haven. It's not at all. It's actually the opposite of that in terms of the state. Portland itself too is not as diverse as people like to pretend it is.
It's a white supremacist city.
100%, and it was founded as a white supremacist city, and they literally.
That's what I mean. I mean, it's less so now, still a thing, but less so now. But it was founded as a white supremacist city.
It was founded by big, separate but equal people. Big, separate but equal. People like to forget how quickly they forget.
Yeah. I mean, California is very similar. Like, there are places of California that...
I mean, America is very similar, let's be honest.
Being in Alabama. Yeah, well, yes. It's just one of those things where when you put people of different backgrounds and different ethnicities and all sorts of just different life experiences in a high concentration in one small space, they tend to like be more open-minded and understand each other. It's almost like if you don't put yourself in your own little bubble of only you, that your worldview is expanded.
AJ and I talk about this, like, when he's like, when he's streaming a lot, where I'll just put something in chat because it's okay to be ignorant. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
a function sometimes of the reality of your circumstances. Like that's not your fault. When somebody explains to you why your ignorance is harmful and you choose to not correct, you choose to double down, then you're a
Mm-hmm.
bigot. Like that's the thing. Because there are so many people who come from small areas where that's where you're born. You don't get to pick your spawn point, you know? I heard somebody say that and I was like, I'm 100% stealing that. But you don't get to pick where you're born. So if you're born in a small southern state and you're raised not knowing any minorities and your only truth is what you have heard from so and so, but then you meet people and you choose to uphold that, like now you're a bigot, you know? It's just it's crazy how much interacting with people makes people understand that we're all people.
Yeah.
You know, like if people left the country more, they would maybe stop thinking America's the best country on earth, which like very clearly is not.
What are you talking about? I mean,
I know.
we have just like totally one of the lowest infant mortality rates. Oh wait, no. We have one of the worst infant mortality rates in the developed world.
And our life expectancy rate has been going down.
Just
It's
insane.
impressive. Just to like
great.
circle back too, because you were talking about living in California and one of the more popular utilities there, PG&E.
Yep,
It's
fire starters.
absolutely insane. Firestar. So they got in a lot of trouble for the most recent one was I think 3 or 4 years ago. That was like a really significant one. Several people died because they didn't have power and like ventilators access was like cut off and stuff. So
Yeah.
not like heat stroke stuff, but like medical emergency stuff. And the issue was found to be quite literally negligence of their own system. They didn't pay to maintain their system, even though they are charging ratepayers for those things. Okay. They were fined. The utility makes money from ratepayers. So the ratepayers paid the fine to themselves.
It's fucking insane.
I hate everything.
It's so great.
It's
So,
broken.
So whenever California fire season starts and we start hearing about all these big fires, every time Red's like, "Is your family okay?" And my first thought is always, "Well, they live in SoCal Edison jurisdiction, so yeah, they're probably fine." Like that's how ridiculous this has become. Is like, as long as you're not living where you got PG&E, your
You're
chances of
fine.
having a
Catastrophic
massive fire,
failure.
yeah, are pretty low. Then you just have to worry about people, doing gender reveals and burning down a whole city.
I saw somebody put in chat earlier, I think it was Thrill House, that Republicans only love gender reveal parties. That's why they're so pro-fetus.
Oh gosh.
And also AJ in chat says about the traveling and meeting other people, two possibilities: either it makes you better or a supervillain. There's no in between. That's a fact. Like it either helps you understand that like, yo, we're all people, we have these shared experiences on this fucking floating rock through space that none of us understand, or it makes you a supervillain because you decide, nah, whites really are better.
God.
Those are the options, man. Terrible human beings.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. The visceral response is big with
That's a
that
fair
one.
visceral response.
It's big with that one.
So
yeah,
you recently had a big W in regards to utilities, because utilities not regulated
Yes.
should be by the government. Also, I know we're moving through a lot of stuff here. In the socialist vein, you know why I'm anti bailing out Abbott, the baby formula company? Because this should be something that's government controlled anyways. There should not be a private company in charge of something so important that babies
absolutely
are
not.
dying when they put profits over lives. Because they're a corporation. They're going to put profits over lives. They're always going to do that.
Oh yeah, absolutely stupid. But yeah, so
Yeah, you had
I
a
switched
big
my
win.
internet because my internet was shitty. It was very, very shitty. And even though I have had not great relations with Spectrum in the past, I went back to Spectrum. And in my process of signing up, I found out that as part of the transportation bill that got passed, there's a broadband, like, it's not a tax credit. It's a benefit that you
It's a
can
bill
get
credit,
through. Yeah, it's a bill credit. Um,
which is way more valuable for people who
which
are
is
in low poverty or in poverty,
way more
because
valuable.
tax credit doesn't mean shit.
Yeah. And so
I've got it on screen here if you want to talk about it.
basically, you should go to your internet provider right now and find out if you could get a credit. All I had to do was type in my name and my address. So I assume it is based on where you live. So
And I think so. The program that you linked as of December 31st was taken over by a different program called
Yeah.
the Affordable Connectivity. So
that one, yeah,
check it out, people. It really sounds like it's easy, and you can get up to at least $30 a month discount on your internet
yeah.
service.
So I have
That's significant.
like almost 20% faster internet right now, and my monthly bill, at least for the first year, is going to be lower.
The first year thing is so insane to me. But
Well, yeah, it's not as big of a bump as it used to be, which is good. But yes, but as long as this is still going, I'm getting $30. I'm getting a $30 a month discount on my internet.
and like, to be clear, it's not bootleg internet either. Alex speeds were like 600 megabytes down,
Yeah,
40 megabytes up, something like that.
Yeah.
Like very
Yeah.
workable speeds. I mean,
not that you can tell because of this, but
also not actually workable, as I think we said in last week's episode. Chattanooga, Tennessee, best Wi-Fi, best internet in the world, guys. It's a
yeah.
public or it's a utility controlled by the local government, and guess what? You get 10 gigabytes down for $60 a month.
yeah, this all is horrible compared to that. But we're making the best of a shit show. And AJ also put in chat, it used to be 50. It did used to be 50.
So it used to
has
be
gone
more,
down.
so they're cutting it back a little bit.
It used to be more. They cut it back. But guess what? If you're not doing it, 30 is still better than 0.
Yo, it's better than zero, absolutely.
better.
And really, it should be a public, or it should be a utility that's covered by taxes. The internet is so important, and the reason why it's not, I don't know if people really know the history of a lot of why there's so little competition in America with the internet, but so much of it goes back to when we built the infrastructure for phone lines and stuff, which is how we use internet now, is through the same phone lines. The companies that were around didn't want to sink a bunch of money, even though capitalism, right, and risk, they didn't want to sink a bunch of money with no guaranteed return. And so the government basically made sweetheart deals with them where they own certain territories. And so because we use those same phone lines now for our internet, which is a fucking necessity, we're stuck. Like, it's absolutely terrible. Inda in chat says, you use phone lines, not fiber. Currently, most of America uses phone lines, not fiber. Google, for instance, is trying to go into fiber, but that's not available in a lot of areas. I lived in Portland, Oregon, a very bustling metropolitan area, not available there.
So, Inda, if you're referencing the Chattanooga, I would assume they don't
That's
use
fiber.
phone lines.
That's fiber.
They use fiber.
Right.
They probably were. So I don't know how this happened in Chattanooga, but I don't remember where
was a
in
bill.
Colorado.
It was a
I
bill.
don't
They
remember where
voted
in
on
Colorado did it, but Colorado was redoing a bunch of their sewer lines, I think. Something like that. There was a town in Colorado that was had to tear up the pavement to redo some utility. And so someone in the government was like, hey, what if we also laid fiber at the same time and made it a public utility? And it passed. They did it. Internet companies tried to sue them. But this town now has blazingly fast internet for super cheap. So, it's great.
But capitalism, they were assured
Capitalism.
it's a good thing.
It's great. It's perfect.
So, just quickly on the screen here, why Chattanooga has the fastest internet in the U.S. Because, like, for what it's worth, what AJ said in chat, most of us have shitty internet. Yes, most Americans have shitty internet because there is literally no incentive for the company to provide good internet because they have what is it? It's not a monopoly because there's technically like usually two. It's like a duopoly basically that they own on it. But like I said, fiber is the future certainly, but it's not available in most places. In Chattanooga here, local politicians and residents it says should be trying to make their town or city more like Chattanooga. Why is broadband in Chattanooga so fast? The fact that the EPB can offer speeds of 10 gigabytes per second is remarkable when you consider the average US download speed is 25.86 megabytes per second.
That's my old internet.
That's the average download speeds in the US. The US has the 20th fastest broadband in the world, behind Romania and Latvia and Jersey. So they have about 100,000 customers. In 2010, it became the first ISP to give fiber optic connections to an entire community. These connections replaced the traditional copper wiring originally designed to exclusively handle telephone calls, which is what most of America is still using.
Yeah.
Fiber optics are much faster because it's light. Infrastructure has meant that everyone, rather than certain blocks or districts at a time, has been able to benefit from the increased speeds. Moreover, because it is literally owned by the city, there is no reason for it to not invest in its infrastructure.
It's insane.
I get so mad about this shit because Americans like to pretend we are the best. There is no better. You should be happy with what you get. And that is fucking wrong. But we're not. Do so much better.
So much.
Oligopoly. Thank you, Mimi. I appreciate that. Oligopoly is absolutely the word I was looking for. When it's not one business, but it's still just a couple businesses that own all of the infrastructure for it.
It's like how you can see the global disconnect in video games, actually, because huge thing in Japan is game streaming now.
Right. It's
game streaming is massive.
You can do it. Right.
The reason that we're getting it on the Switch is because Nintendo had been doing it, and you can do it in Japan.
Right.
Yeah, because their internet is so much better. But I couldn't have streamed a game on my Switch prior to this, even if I had hardwired it. Even if I had used a LAN adapter.
And yeah, right. Even with the OLED edition.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, but it's that disconnect of I don't. You're but we suck. There's so many areas in which we're so far behind every other nation. But we're okay with it. We're cool with it.
And Inda in chat said, because Inda's, in a different country. Well, their internet is shite if you go outside big cities, I think. So Chattanooga is not a big city. Chattanooga is a small city. It's 100,000 customers for this company is what it said. That's not a big city. So that's the thing, is that it's not because of where it is. It's just more like the desire of the company to invest in infrastructure. There is no desire to invest in infrastructure because there's no need, because there's no competition, which that's a capitalist argument. I don't think there needs to be competition. I think it needs to be regulated by the federal government. I think we should care about people. Oh, yeah. He's talking about Japan. They're talking about Japan. That I can't speak to. I don't know.
No. Well, yeah, who I mean, I don't live there. But the same thing. Here's the thing. The same thing would happen in most places in the US. I mean, it's like how even now you can't even get in rural areas in the US, you can't even get the shitty internet I had. You're on HughesNet.
Well, I remember there's still people on dial-up in some places.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Which is nuts to think about.
And this is actually a big sticking point. AJ pointed out, for what it's worth, 25 megabytes a second is more than enough for game streaming, assuming it's consistent. And that is actually the issue. That 25 megabytes per second will peak and valley to death. You will drop to 1,000 kilobytes a second, and then you'll spike to 40 megabytes a second, and then you'll drop to 3 megabytes a second, and then you'll spike, and it's never consistent. If you go to fast.com and track your speeds, it almost never levels out. It's always kind of just moving.
Oh yeah, I think pretty much every time when I start a fast.com test, which by the way, test your speed on fast.com.
Much better than every other site because it's more accurate.
Do you know why it's more accurate?
Because Netflix did it in a way, that allowed the new internet protocols to, wasn't it it was like a traffic thing, right? Because
because it's the
Man,
same.
there's so much to be upset about.
It's essentially, in like layman's terms, it's the same road that goes to streaming a movie from Netflix. So if they were to
Choke
adjust the speed, well, if they were to like make those speed higher so that it reflects better on your internet, they would also be making the speed higher for watching movies, which would fuck them.
Right. It would actually cost them more money because it would be streaming those high data packages.
So yeah,
but they did that in response to the what was it? Oh God, there's so many things to be upset about it. This is how they win. You know what I'm saying? But I think it was the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, has the say over the internet. I think that it was Dinesh D'Souza or whatever, pulled back on.
Oh God.
He's a terrible human being. But they pulled back on the laws, which had
Reese's
basically.
Mug Man.
Yes, the Reese's Mug Man. They pulled back on the laws that had made it so that you have to provide every site and every like browser source like the same speeds, consistent speeds. There was actually was a law so that you couldn't pay more for like faster results on Google than on Yahoo, basically.
Turns out when you deregulate things, they get worse.
Well, that's the thing.
Not better.
If you believe that left to their own devices, corporations would do things to benefit humans, I got a bridge to sell you, man. I got a lot of bridges to sell. I'm going to sell you all the bridges.
There's so much proof to the contrary. So much out there.
It's
so much
absolutely
proof to the
insane.
contrary. It's fucking nuts.
Absolutely insane. All right. I think we beat this. We beat this a little bit.
Yes. It's
Are we ready to move on? All right.
Yeah, I think it's time to talk about our early COVID spike warning system.
Hilarious.
A hilarious thing. So, if you didn't know, with every peak that we've had of COVID in the US, just before that is a peak in 1-star reviews of Yankee candles. And it's a bunch of reviews saying, my candle doesn't smell like anything, because people have lost their sense of smell due to COVID. And so the 1-star reviews are spiking again, folks.
It's our early warning COVID detection system, guys.
Oh, our early warning
this
COVID
is real.
detection
this
system.
This is very real.
So be safe out there. Yeah. It is one of those things that is so just
and
hilarious.
This is coming back around.
Yeah, this has happened before.
Because I remember here. Yeah, so these original tweets in this article I have up are from 2020.
Yeah,
and it's coming right back around again.
I love the one that says this 1-star review is from someone who knows they have COVID. So they know that they don't have a sense of smell, and they're still giving Yankee Candle a 1-star review.
And I think it was Alec who pointed out earlier that this is a good indication, because the people who buy Yankee Candles are also, if you made a Venn diagram with them and people who are not getting vaccinated, it's probably damn near a circle.
Probably very close to a circle. So yeah, be safe out there. Get vaccinated if you can. Wash your hands. Try not to spend too much time in a public crowded space, because it's getting real COVID-y out there.
This is the review that Alec was referencing. Waste of money. I purchased 3 of these. What a waste. There's virtually no scent to these at all. If I wasn't confined to my house because of COVID, I would return these for sure.
I just want to get that framed.
D. Lynn. Yo, D she's speaking truth to power out here.
Yeah. You know what, D? Love it. I'm sorry that you couldn't smell that fall morning or whatever the heck the scent was called.
We're all over the place here. There we go.
Apple Blossom Dreams.
Apple Blossom
oh my gosh,
Dreams.
What are you doing?
Hey man, I clicked the wrong button. Give me a break. There's a lot of scenes here, okay? Is it misimport?
You know, just like put yourself in studio mode.
What? What does that mean?
Studio mode shows you like the scene you're on, and then the scene you have queued up next, and then you just hit transition.
Go away, Alec. Go away. Look, wait, I can make you go away. Ha ha! Oh my god.
But yeah,
is that an OBS
that
thing?
Nice. Yeah.
I've never.
There's literally just down towards the side something that says like studio mode. Bottom right corner.
I checked that a couple times and it looked very like overwhelming. I'm never going back to it. Stop complimenting Alec in chat, please. If everyone could stop doing that, that would be very beneficial for everybody here.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Nope. Please stop.
I am the better bean.
Please stop.
If we were coffee beans, Trev would be Robusta and I would be Arabica. Thank you.
It's okay, but that okay, but hold on. Because I like Robusta.
Oh.
Nicoletti's Old School is like heavy Robusta for sure.
Is it a blend of the two, or is it just Robusta beans?
I'm not sure exactly what it is because it seems relatively. They just call it an old school roast, but it produces a lot of crema, which I've been told is an indication that it's a pretty heavy Robusta mix at least.
Well, yeah. I mean, it also is an indicator of how fresh your coffee is.
It's very fresh. It's very fresh, and it ships from New York.
Yeah.
It's great. They do a great job.
Okay, we're gonna have a quick, I guess, explainer. There's two main types of coffee bean that have different varieties, different plants offshoot from these. There's Robusta, and Robusta is usually higher caffeine content, lower like interesting flavor profiles. Like it's more just like coffee. It's not like all the different nuances that you can get in coffee. Arabica is a higher quality tasting bean usually. Where did you go? Oh, I know where you went. What you doing over there? And slightly lower caffeine content.
What? It's an audio medium. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So usually third wave coffee, another term thrown at you there, but like fancy $18 to $30 a bag coffee is pure Arabica, and then like Folgers, Maxwell House.
How fucking dare! No, we gotta ban Alec for that shit. That's insane. That's fucking insane. You know, like Folgers, the best part of waking up. You know, the Robusta shit. Fuck out of here, you.
The
asshole.
incest bean.
That's fuck. You know, and then there's the shitty shit that this asshole likes. The Robusta shit, which is fucking trash. We can all agree. That's insane.
I've had coffees that are blends of the two that I really enjoy. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I didn't set out to just
be a cop.
Roast you on your roast.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Bad joke too. L joke
No,
for sure.
It's A+ joke.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody in chat said indica bean. I don't know what that means. We have another topic that we wanted to talk about. We are hitting a lot of heavy stuff on this stream. But I think that it's all just there's some crazy shit happening in the world. And I think for this one,
the world continues to be insane.
Did you watch the clip? Do you want to play should I play the clip?
I completely forgot to watch the clip.
Do you want me to play it? You want to watch it?
Yeah, sure. Let's watch it.
So it is like a 2-minute clip. So I'll turn the audio off here on the music. If you want to unmute the stream, I think that's how you're going to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll play it uninterrupted. I'll give this man. It's 1 minute 43-second clip.
You vote Democrat, I don't even want you around this church. You can get out.
Get your barf bags ready, everybody.
Get out, you demon. You can get out, you baby butchering. election thief. You cannot be a Christian and vote Democrat in this nation. I don't care how mad that makes you. You get pissed off as you want to. You cannot be a Christian and vote Democrat in this nation. They are God-denying demons that butcher babies and hate this nation. They hate this nation. Get mad all you want to. I don't care if you stand. I don't care if you throw tomatoes, praise God. I'm about to throw a microphone up in his house.
I was told audio is low.
You cannot be a Democrat and a Christian. You cannot. Somebody say amen. The rest of you, get out. Get out. Get out in the name of Jesus. I ain't playing your stupid games. Bunch of devils. I'm sick of it. Hey, want to talk about the insurrection? Let me tell you something. You ain't seen an insurrection yet. You keep on pushing our buttons, you low-down sorry compromisers. You God-hating communist America. You'll find out what an insurrection is, because we ain't playing your garbage. We ain't playing your mess. My Bible says that the church of the living God is an institution that the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And the Bible says that we'll take it by force. That's what the Bible says. That's what the Bible says. It's going to get worse.
So, and a couple people mentioned the audio was real quiet at the start. I was more of that. It sounds like it got better at the end. It was more of that.
Fuck this man.
He's a pastor. He's a religious leader.
And here's one thing that I will say. As someone who has read multiple translations of the Bible, where the fuck did he find any of that? What are my credentials, folks? I went to church like 6 times a week for like 3 years. Okay?
You went to like 18 churches 3 times a week. Jesus.
Christianity is based on the teachings of Jesus. Specifically, if you follow the New Testament, it basically says, fuck the Old Testament. If Jesus didn't say it, it doesn't matter. So, we throw out so much of anything that they ever base anything on. But also, like, these people would hate Jesus.
Jesus would hate them, too.
Jesus hung out with disabled
whores
people,
and strippers,
prostitutes, like
poors.
He wasn't white.
Jesus hated rich people.
Like, yeah, hated rich people. You know, throwing tables in churches of the Pharisees. Like what? What?
Youth in chat was curious. What years of your life?
Middle school.
So formative years. Very formative years.
Middle school. It's formative in other ways, which is why I stopped going to church.
Thrillhouse in chat says, "Wait till they find out he ain't white."
Oh my God!
They're gonna be pissed.
Have I told you guys about my mom's Precious Moments nativity scene? Because
I feel like you told me about this, but I don't know if it came up on the podcast.
My mother has a nativity scene, and it's Precious Moments figurines, which if you've never seen Precious Moments figurines, Hitler would approve of them. They're very pale. They've got blue eyes. They've got blonde hair. So my mom has a nativity that's all these white-haired, white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed little figures.
Describing something as Hitler approved is crazy.
I described it
stamp of approval.
I described it as Hitler approved once to my mother, and she was very mad. Very mad. They're cute figurines. They're adorable. They're like chibi. They're like old white lady chibi. So, yeah, they're cute,
crazy.
but it is not accurate at all.
At all, in any way, dude. That's crazy.
At all. None of those people were white.
It's like I would genuinely be curious to see, because it would be higher than 0 if you polled people who identified as Christian and you said, was Jesus American? I would be curious to see how many said yes, because it would be greater than 0. It wouldn't. I don't think it would be a high number, but I think it would be more than 0.
I feel like the Mormons would really skew this.
Oh my god! They're like, no, he was definitely a white dude. He was big fan of cops. Jesus loved the police. You know, big fan of states' rights. Those were the things that meant the most to him.
He was all for beating the cripples.
He hated cripples, dude. He hated cripples.
Hated him.
Jesus bleeds blue. That's a fact, dude. Jesus actually, Jesus was the one who made the first Punisher with the Blue Lines Matter shirt. That was a Jesus thing. He made that logo.
Did you know that Marvel changed the Punisher's logo?
Because of that, yes. Because they hate those assholes. Also, have you never seen the Punisher then? Like, I don't understand. If your takeaway is that he's pro-authority, what did you watch?
Dude kills all kinds up.
Because they killed his family.
Yeah.
How did you take... So, in our neighborhood, they're doing some heavy construction, and so we've had to do this detour. And we realized that there's a house in our neighborhood that has a Jolly Roger flag, like the pirate flag, black, but it's a Punisher head with the American flag on it. And I'm like, everything about this is wrong.
I'm not usually for arson.
In GTA. Yeah. GTA, for sure. Didn't see that thin blue line on his cross.
No, his body was covering it. His slowly suffocating figure.
Yo, imagine when they stake Jesus up. He's like, I understand though, because if I had just complied, none of this would have happened.
He did comply.
That's the joke. It's almost like complying is racist propaganda.
Okay, but actually,
oh my god,
as is our way. This is a tangent because this is not why we brought this up.
That's a fact.
That man,
he's a pastor. He's a religious leader. He's tax exempt.
Actively campaigning for voting
for civil war
or against another party and for possibly civil war. Doesn't pay taxes.
He's a tax exempt motherfucker.
How much do you think his house costs?
Oh man, I almost don't want to know because it's gonna piss me off.
One of the churches I went to as a youth. Oh God, what's it called? What's the really big mega church in Southern California?
I don't know.
The one where like one of the ex-pastors wrote The Secret.
I have no idea. That strikes nothing.
But that's the church my dad and my stepmom went to. So that's one of the churches that I have been to a bit. It's like, it's insane. It is a shopping mall size. Like a big shopping mall.
Because they need all that because Jesus would want them to have all that.
Yeah.
Here it is.
But basically, that man's tax exempt and he shouldn't be. His organization is tax exempt and it shouldn't be.
That's a fact.
If you want to weigh in on politics, you can pay taxes like the rest of us.
That's 100%. I'm trying to pull up the...
Same with billionaires. Billionaires also should not be tax exempt. And they essentially are.
Oh, we didn't even put that in the talking points, but the whole Elon Musk stuff is insane. Fuck that. Fuck that guy.
just the usual fuck Elon.
Fuck that guy. He's actually just a piece of shit.
Only ever post pictures of him pre all of his surgery and hair transplants, not because it's bad to be bald, but because clearly he's not a fan of it. So only ever use that picture.
Yep. I can't find the actual tweet here, but just in the same vein, you had posted do this. There was an archbishop who had tweeted, after numerous attempts to speak with Speaker Pelosi to help her understand the grave evil she is perpetrating, the scandal she is causing, and the danger to her own soul she is risking, I have determined that she is not to be admitted to Holy Communion. This is another religious leader, tax-exempt individual, speaking for the church, trying to influence policy.
Yeah.
This is not appropriate.
No. And okay, so I don't know, Trev. You don't have a. Oh, I mean, I do know you don't have a Catholic background.
I
Wow,
don't.
That was
I
dumb.
don't. I have a
I do.
Jewish background.
I do. And there are many reasons why you can be denied communion.
Yeah, I didn't even know
Those
what that
reasons
meant. This
are-
is a good question. What does that even mean? Denied
So-
communion.
So part of a church service on Sunday in the Catholic Church and many different Christian religions is you go and eat a piece of bread. You go and eat the body of Christ.
Okay.
In the Catholic Church, it's a little wafer. As not to really, I mean, not to quote another not great person, but as Dane Cook once called it, a Jeezit, a crouton of Christ.
It's the body of Christ.
It's the body of Christ. I mean, that joke was probably originally from somebody else. If you don't understand that,
Right.
Google it.
Christ checks, as we call them.
Christ checks. So you go up and you eat it, and you can be denied communion for a few reasons. Basically, it's if you break one of the holy sacraments in the Catholic Church. So like marriage is a holy sacrament. So technically, if you get divorced, you're not ever supposed to take communion again.
So that last president we had is not allowed to partake in communion?
Correct. You know who else isn't allowed to partake in communion? My father.
This-
you know who
this
still
guy?
partakes in communion
Your
every
father?
time he goes home and goes to the Catholic Church with my grandparents? My father. You know who knows that my father is divorced?
The
The
pastor?
priest at that church.
Mm-hmm.
The priest who married him to my mother, who he is no longer married to. So
It's almost like it's hypocrisy.
it's almost like it's hypocrisy.
So Mimi in
Almost.
chat said, it's when you're not allowed to eat Jesus or drink his blood.
Yeah.
That's insane.
At the end of the little ceremony where they're like turning it to Jesus's body and blood, the priest will crush up some of it and pour it in a little wine and then take a big gulp.
What is it? Because it's not actually. Imagine if it was. Imagine if they're just
No, it's
picking
it's
off
an
little
unleavened-
bits of
it's-
Jesus.
It's an unleavened. It's a
Whoa, whoa,
flavorless
whoa,
cracker.
Sir, that's matzah.
Yeah, it's an unleavened, flavorless cracker.
So
It
this is
has
just a
less-
bunch. This is just a bunch of goyams role playing as Jews.
It has less flavor than matzah.
You've never had matzah then.
It's almost. Oh, I have had matzah.
It's
I make
literally
a great.
It's literally not possible to have less
Trev,
flavor
I know
than matzah.
we don't live near each other, but I make a great matzo ball soup.
Okay, no, I believe that matzo ball soup can be amazing. Matzah,
Yeah.
matzah cannot be. It's flavorless. That's what it is.
Yeah, but matzah's not styrofoamy. And
But this is literally like Yelp. What is it? LARPing as a Jew. This is like as close as y'all get.
yeah, but it's based on something that Jewish people don't believe happened.
I know what it's based on. It's based on having to flee Egypt and not having time to leaven the bread. That's what it's based on. Obviously.
But yes, so it's based on the Last Supper. Everybody, that's what this whole sacrament is based on. But to circle back around, this is dumb, and they should be taxed for it.
Turning my music
So-
back on real quick. It's very dumb, and they should absolutely be taxed for it. It's absolutely insane that they're not currently taxed. They shouldn't be exempt. Like, religions shouldn't be exempt from paying taxes. This isn't like, I don't want to sound like I'm going after Christians here. I'm not like, pro other religions.
No, but they live in this country; they should be taxed.
100%. They should pay their taxes. And the fact is, like, isn't the expectation is that if you attend church regularly, you're supposed to tithe like 25% or something, or 10% or some shit like that?
Yeah, you're supposed to tithe. A lot of Christian religions don't have like a set, like you should be doing this much. Like there's like a understanding, unless you're Mormon, and then it's like, give us your money.
80%, bitch.
Because tithe. What's that? Tithe is when you give the church your money.
Because they're the church, And they need
they're
it
the church.
because they don't pay taxes.
So they pass around a little basket, and you throw money in it. They play nice music while they're doing it, so that
to
you know,
encourage you to give more money.
yeah.
So Ben in chat asked if matzah only comes in ball. Oh my god. Okay, I have to show this. He asked if matzah only comes in ball form. So no, it doesn't. It's actually a cracker, basically. It's unleavened bread, so it's like flat. But when I googled matzah, why is there a clothing line? Why?
Oh
like,
my
I
god!
didn't Google matzah clothes. I just Googled matzah, and the first two results are clothing.
Can we get matching sweatshirts for like any holiday that you so choose? Like you get to pick which holiday. Like if we want to do like Yom Kippur sweatshirts, if we want to do Hanukkah sweatshirts, like whatever you want.
Yo, your pronunciation! You got the little. You got the little Hanukkah. Okay, I see you.
I don't want to just like brag or anything, but I grew up with Jewish friends.
Let's go. Yo, you got Jewish friends?
I do.
Let's go. Matzah hoodie is a big need. Oh my god, this is hilarious.
I've continued my life tradition of having of pretty much always having at least one Jewish friend.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
It's like that thing that racists like to say, but I can say it about Jewish people.
That's exactly it. Yeah, Jews are white now, so it's fine. You know, Jews didn't used to be white, but they're white now, so it is. That's fine.
Oh, they're white now.
They're white now.
That's cool.
So Ben, this is traditionally what matzah looks like, though. It's more of a cracker. It's very flat. Jews literally, why it's unleavened is because they didn't have time to let the dough rise before baking it, because they were literally fleeing for their lives, as the story goes. And we will be buying these hoodies, it sounds like.
Yeah. Oh God, yes. That is not a cheap hoodie. It's probably uncomfortable as shit.
It's there's no way it's good quality either. It's just going to be absolutely atrocious.
Okay, so we need to do that when it's cold, because it probably also does not breathe.
No, there's no shot it breathes.
Yeah, but matzah balls you make out of the matzah to make the matzah taste good.
Well, because
have you ever had
ball soup
like
is
chicken
a lot of
and
broth.
Yeah, have you ever had like brothy chicken and dumplings, Ben?
That's exactly what it is.
That's like sort of matzo ball soup.
Now, and I'm not gonna lie, if you ever get invited to like a Seder or whatever, which is like a Passover dinner, you're gonna eat a lot of bad food. There's a lot of bad food. Gefilte fish, like, if you can get away without eating the gefilte fish, don't eat the gefilte fish. Kugel depends on who's making it, because there's actually two schools of thought on kugel. If it's a sweet kugel, avoid it at all costs. Don't eat the sweet kugel, because I'm telling you, sweet noodle dish, no, it's not good. It's not good. If it's a savory kugel with potatoes,
that's good.
Tasty shit.
Well, because like also,
tasty shit.
If you're having a Seder, it's all kosher, right?
Well, I mean, yes, it should be.
It should be all kosher.
It should be.
Which cuts out some delicious stuff, guys.
It cuts out a lot of delicious shit now. But the entree should be brisket. And if you got a grandma who's been making brisket her whole life, a little Jewish nanny, let me tell you, that brisket's gonna be the best brisket you ever fucking had. If you have to use a knife, she's a fake. She's a fraud.
I make a real good brisket.
So I haven't had meat since sophomore year of high school.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what, 13, 14 years?
Yeah.
And because I don't crave it, so it's not like it's difficult. I don't actively want meat.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long, in my experience, to just be like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. My grandma, who is no longer with us, unfortunately, rest her soul, all that stuff. If I could have some of her brisket, I would.
You would.
It's the best. Brisket it's the best. It's the best. It's absolutely the most juicy, tender, delicious, flavorful, succulent, melt in your mouth bit of meat I've ever had.
Yeah,
I think brisket is how most people enjoy steak. That's how I enjoyed brisket.
I worked at a barbecue restaurant for a little bit, and we did smoked meats, and brisket was our one of our best sellers.
So good. Brisket's fucking quality.
That's good.
So you can get some good food out of Seder, but you're also gonna get some gefilte fish, which,
I mean,
don't
some
eat
challah
fish.
Some challah bread.
You're probably not gonna get any challah at the Seder, but that's okay. I think actually you
not?
can't. I think you can only eat unleavened bread.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. I think you have to eat the unleavened bread. I think that's the
stupid.
option. And then you're not allowed to eat after the Seder.
Yeah.
But also, if you're any age, because kids are drinking, the Haggadah, which is the traditional book that has all the stories and all the prayers that you go through for the Seder, it tells you when to drink, and
That's nice.
you have to drink a whole glass of wine after every so many chapters, and you end up drinking a whole bottle of wine basically, each person. It's built into this. That's the rules.
It's beautiful.
It is. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. We had a couple more heavy-handed topics on the sheet. Do you want to breeze past them, or do you want to just skip them and transition to some more lighthearted topics?
I feel like we should transition to light because we've had a lot of Alec and Trev yelling about just
terrible things.
Everything.
Oh, and LJ in chat asked Manischewitz. Manischewitz certainly optional. But we always went a little above Manischewitz because Manischewitz is not good. It's very sweet. It's very sweet.
We get a little classier.
It's hangover juice.
Hangover juice. Sometimes you want hangover juice, man. Sometimes you're just like
when I was
give me
8,
that sweet shit.
When I was 8, yeah, the hangover juice was fucking on point.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, so we have, oh man, we never talked about number 11 there.
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right.
I mean,
you want to just go to the trailer?
We kind of did when I roasted you.
That's rude.
Robusta was that one. Let's just go to the trailer. Let's just go to the trailer.
So we're going to talk about the She-Hulk trailer. And if anybody hasn't seen it, we'll just play it real quick. There's obviously no spoilers. It's only like a 2-minute video. Let me turn the volume up since we know on this scene the audio needs to be a little louder. And we'll just play the trailer real quick.
Being a superhero is a trial by fire. Who's gonna protect the world if not people like you?
Jennifer Walters. I'm a lawyer. I have great friends.
Can we get some shots, please? It's an emergency.
A demanding job.
We just started a superhuman law division, and I want you to be the face of it.
And a frustrating family.
Cause you didn't ask for this, but you still gotta deal with it. Your transformations are triggered by anger and fear.
Those are like the baseline of any woman just existing.
Oh.
Bruce, kind of feels like if I don't transform, I'm gonna die.
Yes. No.
I just want to be a normal, anonymous lawyer.
Can you tell us where She-Hulk is?
Jen, you're a story now.
Girl, your ass looks crazy right now. You could be an Avenger.
Oh, I'm not a superhero. That is for billionaires and narcissists and adult orphans for some reason. Is there anything more depressing than dating in your 30s?
Yeah, this is the best date I've had in a while.
Oh.
Should we split some fries?
Let's get those to go.
Thoughts?
I'm excited.
It looks good.
So, big She-Hulk fan. And for those who don't know, She-Hulk comic-wise, she basically was Deadpool. The things that people like about Deadpool, like the self-referential humor, the breaking the fourth wall, all of that was a She-Hulk thing before it was a Deadpool thing. Back when he was just kind of like a snarky mercenary for hire. But she was already breaking the fourth wall and making, like, all of her jokes were self-referential to the medium. So clearly they're doing at least part of that. We haven't really seen her super break the fourth wall yet, but I have high hopes.
On it. Yeah.
They cast a great actress for it, in my opinion. Like the moment they're like Tatiana Maslany, I was like, yes, thank you, perfect. So I'm excited.
I don't have the context you do, but I'm also excited.
Yeah, I don't mind the special effects.
See, that's where we're gonna disagree here. I think they look like shit. I do. I think it's hard to miss. Like, I saw screen grabs, people complaining, the discourse. Oh, this looks like crap. Then Iron Man looked better than this, and I was like, you guys need to calm the fuck down. I was honestly, my first thought was like, yeah, well, misogyny in 2022 still strong. Okay, that was my first thought, and then I watched the trailer, and I was like, oh. There's a couple spots where it just looks really rough. Now, that isn't to say it couldn't be resolved before it comes out, but I do feel that there's several parts in the trailer where I was like very aware that it was just like, whoa, this is kind of jarring and shocking.
Yeah, so when you're saying that, do you mean like the general look, or like the general look of her in...
It wasn't just her, it was Bruce Banner too. So like there were scenes where he was transformed into Hulk where I was very kind of off put, like in the scenes in the lab where I was like, oh, he just kind of looks like he doesn't have the I don't want to say feel, but he didn't look like he blended into the background and like the elements as well. It's like it looked very very forced,
very out of place. Okay,
yes, it looked out of place.
I didn't look into this too much because I don't really give a shit. Because my first impulse when people are like, oh, the effects don't look good, is like they're commenting on the actual look of the character. And she looks exactly like what she looks like in the comics when transformed. So that was what I was thinking people were critiquing, and I'm like, well, that's just how She-Hulk looks. She's just
that's different.
A slightly bigger green lady.
And that could be definitely what people are complaining about.
It could be. But also, like, I understand. I don't know. I guess there's always a part of me that's like, dude, 12-year-old Alec never thought that things would look this good. So, It's like my same approach to video games most of the time.
That's fair.
Where I'm just like, I'm like, well, 20 years ago, this would have been like my brain would have exploded.
Your dream. Yeah, you couldn't believe it could look this good.
Like, it's not that long ago that Lou Ferrigno painted green
right?
with special effects for the Hulk.
He got the job because he was big. That was why he got the job.
Like,
no, that's fair. That's 100% fair.
So that's my thing, and it isn't so bad that it takes me out of watching it. I'm sure it could be better, but it isn't.
I don't think I didn't have those problems. It wasn't how she looked. It just looked how it was interacting with the environment. Just looked like it needed more time to be smoothed out, and I think a lot of that is functional. Props versus CGI, right? Like Iron Man movies, he was in the suit a lot. Like they actually built, not obviously a fully functional, but it was practical, right? It was a practical suit that he was in a lot. And so that made it look like it made sense in the environment because it was actually there. And there's just several times in the trailer I was just like, oh, and like I said, in the lab scene, Bruce Banner especially, he just doesn't look smooth. Something about it.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing, like, that's all they have left to do.
Right, and there's a couple months, it could get a lot better. It certainly could.
We have one full Marvel show between when this comes out, and even that isn't coming out, like, immediately. They're going to roll out Obi-Wan first. So we've got 2 Disney Plus shows before we're going to see this. 2, tentpole shows.
And people keep pointing out too that the turnaround time on these are so fast, like
so tight.
You can only expect so much, and that's fair. Movies like the original Iron Man, not only the practical effects, they had a lot more time. And you think of movies like Pan's Labyrinth, where like they dedicated
and a lot
so
more
much,
budget.
Exactly. Well, yeah. Well, the budget. But you think about movies like Pan's Labyrinth, which are older, and it was like all practical effects, and it's like that's why it looks so good. It's because they took the time and the effort to do it so that it was like real. Essentially, they actually built the world. And they don't have the time. They don't have the time for Marvel movies anymore because the public demands the fast turnaround.
Well, and I think we're still getting okay spacing in the movies. We're getting better spacing than we've ever had because of the good old Panini press. But they definitely are trying to crank through these shows. Like they're trying to always have one going, which is
They have at least 2 going though. They have like always at least 2 or 3 projects going.
I am of like there's the massive nerd in me who is just losing his mind constantly and is so happy with the not only that these things are that Marvel in general shows are happening, but the properties that they're picking for the most part are things that I'm like,
Winning
hell
properties.
yes, I love these characters. Like when they're like, we're gonna make a Miss Marvel show, I'm like, fuck yeah. And we're gonna make a She-Hulk, amazing. We're gonna do a Moon Knight show. Like all of these things I've been so excited for because they're not the heavy hitters or the quote unquote heavy hitters.
Sure. And they can have a little more fun with it, which is more the direction they've taken it since like the Ragnarok stuff.
But then also at the same time, I want these to be the best versions of these characters.
Absolutely.
And you can't do that without time. So far, I don't think we've had a major live action, at least a major like disconnect in the source material and what shows up on the show. We've had like little misses in certain shows, but nothing as bad as like when Netflix was making them. That first season of Iron Fist is absolute garbage. Like, do not watch.
It's so tough.
It's so bad.
Even though Jessica Jones was like fantastic, Daredevil was fantastic.
Well, it's because they were on such a time limit because he was going to be a defender.
They were trying to get it
but
done.
They hadn't finished his show, and his show had to come out first.
Yeah.
So
the other shows were good. I thought that the other shows were also good. Luke Cage was very good. Yeah.
The other shows are great because they have time to.
They had the time.
They had time to make them. They had time to train these actors to do stunts. The fight scenes in the first season of Iron Fist, arguably the show that should have the best fight choreography because it is about a kung fu character, are atrocious.
Right.
Like, just so bad because that actor didn't have a background in it.
Right. It's only not even really his fault. He just wasn't.
Which was a huge misstep for them. Like, like if you're going to need this tight turnaround, you cast someone who has a background in this. Fucking Louis Tan was in that show.
I don't know.
Who is Louis Tan. He was the new character who was the lead in the new Mortal Kombat film.
Oh, okay. And also, too, the new Mortal Kombat film I thought was enjoyable.
I still haven't actually watched it, which I feel bad about because I like Louis Tan as an actor. I think he's a great actor.
It's good. If you like the original Mortal Kombat, man, it's got a lot of the same vibe, but like with a bigger budget.
I know people were mad because he's like an OC. And they're like, why are we creating this new character when there's so many different characters in this franchise? But whatever. But he was in the show. He actually auditioned to play Danny Rand, but they went with a white guy because Danny Rand
I couldn't get through Iron Fist.
Comics.
It was not an enjoyable show. I watched the first couple episodes and stopped.
Season 2 is much better. But you still, to me, you only watch the show for Colleen Wing and Misty Knight. Those are the only reasons you watch it at all.
See, I really liked Daredevil, and I really liked Jessica Jones, and I really liked Luke Cage.
Yeah,
I was wanting to watch Iron Fist.
3 impeccably cast actors, like just spot on. And there is a highly pervasive rumor, I don't think it's actually been confirmed by anyone who works at Disney, that there is a Disney Plus show, Disney Plus Daredevil show coming.
That's exciting.
With Charlie Cox. So, because
I guess spoilers, but not really spoilers, but I guess kind of spoilers. That
oh my god, if you haven't seen Far From Home at this point,
yeah,
No Way Home. No Way Home?
Whatever the newest one is, yeah, he makes a quick appearance.
Yeah, like
I have to run and get my Switch. I don't have my Switch here. I can't believe this. It's
Oh my
downstairs.
gosh.
But you know, this would be a
such an
perfect opportunity
integral
for.
part.
You know, this would be a
of the
perfect opportunity
podcast.
for is for your Kingdom
What?
Hearts minute.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Why do I have to think? Making my brain think. Okay.
Do you
Let's
want
do
it?
it.
You want me to start the timer?
Start the timer.
All right, here it goes. I'm gonna go run, get my Switch, and here comes the timer.
All right. Today, we're going to talk about a classic character. We're going to talk about Riku. Riku is the original destined wielder of the Keyblade. Until we find out later that Keyblades can go to fucking anybody. But Riku opens his heart to darkness, and he is possessed by Ansem, who's not really Ansem, who's actually Xehanort. Not even really Xehanort. He's Xehanort's Heartless, which Heartless do have hearts. They're actually the hearts of people who have been separated from their bodies, and then no bodies are actually just the body of that person. But nobodies don't have hearts. But if nobodies exist past their experience with someone, their original body, they can grow a heart, they can grow a new heart. Kingdom Hearts makes no sense. Congratulations. That was perfect. I timed that really well. Also, that was not about Riku. And Jeff's not here. So this is entirely the Alex show. How's it going? How's it going, everybody? How are you enjoying the cast? We've been trying to keep it shorter, and then this episode entirely got away from us. Welcome in, Raiders. I know we got a raid. Thank you, Fried Biscuits, for that. So welcome in, new people. I'm Alec. The empty chair is my good buddy Trev, whose channel this actually is. When we do a podcast, the goal is to always do it on Sundays. It has kind of oscillated between Sundays and Saturdays, but if you go to the Discord, follow us, we'll let you know when it's coming up. I also stream at Alec is Baking. I build little model kits sometimes. We had our first actual cooking stream. Thank you, youth, for throwing up the Discord. So yeah, come hang out. We talk a lot of politics, a little about beans, a little about video games. That's our shtick. Oh, thank you, Sardi. Thank you so much. I love that I'm actually cracked at just chatting. Did you know that there's
You're cracked at it.
Did you know that there's a food and drink category on Twitch? Because I didn't know that. So the next time I do a cooking/baking stream, it will be categorized correctly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You did a great job. I was listening to it the whole time. You did a great job. Way to plug everybody. Way to plug yourself. Way to thank the Raiders. You did a great job.
Yeah.
So
I am learning how to stream. I'm learning how to Twitch.
Turn off that timer. Good job. You stuck right in the minute too. Just impressive.
I did stick right in the minute, which is impressive because I'm watching on the delay. I was like, "Ooh, this is what the delay feels like. This is what it feels like." I did not bake. I did cook. There was bread involved in the cooking though, so I feel like that's like a technicality that kind of worked.
Let me see, make sure this is working real quick. So we have come to the part of the podcast where we're going to do what we normally used to do on the podcast. We're going to just do some max raids, but we're going to answer the couple viewer questions we have while we do some raids.
Yeah.
Let me... Boom.
The podcast is just like a living, breathing organism. Oh, look at that shiny... Look at that shiny turkey.
Beautiful... okay, well, that seems unnecessary. So we do have a couple questions. Let's load up a room. Let's join the room, and let's wait until we're actually in it to get to the questions.
Okay. Did you turn on your internet?
I'm doing it now.
In the game? Good job. Good job.
Hey, man. I've done this before once.
As best internet system in all of gaming, guys.
Best internet system. There is no better system.
There's no better way to play online with friends than there is in Pokemon Sword and Shield.
I swear to God, if we get Zygarde, I'm fighting you.
I did not pick Zygarde. I didn't pick Zygarde that one time in AJ's stream recently.
Literally nobody
where I
believes
was accused of picking Zygarde.
Nobody believes you. Let me know when you're ready for me to open the room.
I have already opened the room.
Oh, okay. Well, you picked Zygarde, didn't you?
I did not pick Zygarde.
You picked Zygarde. I swear to God. Yeah, if we get fucking Zygarde, dude.
I have had this on. I've had my Switch on this entire time. Just sitting here. Because sometimes my input switcher like turns off all my monitors and then pops them back on, and I didn't want to deal with that.
That's hilarious.
It is hilarious. It's bad. It's great.
Yo, we got Thrill.
Bort.
Love
Every
to see
time.
it.
I love every time. Bort.
So this is the part of the podcast where we can kind of more chill, relax. We'll do Q&A and we'll do some raids. So if anybody else wants to join up, we have one more spot.
Also, if you want to throw a question in the chat, we're here. We're here for your Q&A.
Absolutely.
We love to A your Qs.
I'm not using that verbiage, but Alec is more than welcome to. Yo, Mega Man joined up.
Mega! Let's do it.
I turned off my PS5 for this. Better get a shiny. Well, you're going to be disappointed.
We don't get shinies.
We don't do that here.
They don't exist.
They don't exist for us. That's a fact.
I have yet to get a Beanscast shiny, right? Have I?
Yeah. Ho-Oh was before Beanscast.
Yeah. I still get AJ shinies occasionally. I still get Watch
true.
Redirect shinies.
That's true. That does happen. That do be happening.
But I don't get Beanscast shinies, and Trev does not get
any shinies.
Sword and Shield shinies.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Game hates me.
Game mad. All right, what type are we battling? Dragon type. I didn't do it, I swear.
I swear to fucking God if this is Zygarde. Let's go for ice.
I mashed. Is that the direction we want? I mashed correctly. Okay, good.
Because we can at least grab an ice, which will be effective against it. And Zygarde's what? Dragon Ground?
Yeah, Dragon Ground. But I did not pick Zygarde.
So that's times 4. You fucking picked Don't lie.
I did not
at
pick
least
Zygarde.
admit so that we can plan.
I'm going to be truthful
This is
in
insane.
that I was gonna pick Zygarde when we were like last raid. I was gonna pick Zygarde. But I feel like because I started the room, if I had picked it, everyone would have seen the silhouette.
No.
I think that's how it works.
It's not.
I think it only doesn't show the silhouette if I joined up when everyone else was picking anything as fine and someone else started the room. I think that's how it works. I did not pick Zygarde, so that's what it is. But let's A a Q.
All right, so first Q. Sorry, I had a kid. Needed something. First Q from Sardi. Coffee alternative when you're already 30 minutes late to that thing you needed to get to. This is a great.
Be
great cue.
more late.
Wow. Just be more late. Said fuck it.
Just be more late.
Prioritize your coffee.
You're already late. Like,
what's the difference
in
between
the
5 and
grand
15 minutes late? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, especially if you're already half an hour late,
damn.
the difference between half an hour and 45 minutes, like, who cares?
That's crazy.
That's my feeling.
That's crazy.
But I have been known to drink a watermelon flavored Red Bull, which tastes not good,
like poison,
but like
poison,
but like my misspent youth. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
It tastes like
That's fair.
You know what it tastes
Monsters
like? It tastes
for
like
me, for sure.
Bad mixed drinks.
Bad decisions.
Because when you're a teen, your mixer is energy drink.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I remember how this tastes, but it's missing something. What's it missing? Oh, the vodka.
I can put chat over here. I think that just water, honestly. If I don't have time for coffee, there's not like a great alternative for me. I don't really
That's
like
true.
tea.
Can't sleep if you're peeing.
Can't what?
Can't sleep if you're peeing.
What? Yeah, I mean, okay.
Well, the point of the caffeine is to wake you up. And then the
That's
water,
true. That's
and then
true.
you're
I mean,
hydrating.
yeah. On some level, though, at this point, like, it's just because coffee. You know.
Oh yeah,
Like, I just
like
enjoy
coffee.
it. Yeah.
I'm not really here for the caffeine intake. I just like coffee.
Yeah, I just like coffee. All right, I added chat to screen too. Let's go ice here. I don't know which one is Zygarde, says Ben. It's the one that Alec loves. It's his favorite Pokemon, pretty much. He kind of can't get enough of it. He's pretty obsessed. He's pretty fucked up. It's kind of cringe.
Zygarde.
You clearly love Zygarde. It's clearly your favorite Pokemon.
I don't like Zygarde.
If Zygarde wasn't your favorite Pokemon, why does Zygarde always show up?
I don't like Zygarde.
That's bullshit.
We got plenty of other Pokés in this house.
Plenty of
I was gonna say we
Pokés,
don't have a
fucking
Zygarde.
Cacturn ass. But you have a Zygarde right there.
I have the doggy. I don't have him here, but I have the dog. The what is it? 10% form. So saying there is no Zygarde is
a lie.
Is false.
Gonna need a background for this chat box here.
Oh my gosh. Just editing the stream on the fly. This is evolution, people.
AJ said dead, his favorite Pokemon. See, everyone agrees.
AJ lies.
AJ has literally never once lied to me.
Well, you know.
How dare. I'm offended you would even insinuate that.
I'm sorry. I should have said AJ hates mustard, and mustard is an important building block in so many foods.
I don't think AJ hates mustard. I don't think that's true.
No, he just thinks it's mid, I think. That's what the decision was.
Do you remember that semi-black layer that I made? Look at what a difference this makes. Like, you can't even tell, but then if you look at the screen names in the chat area, that's such a difference.
Look at you go.
I know. Also,
I'm so proud of you.
I'm a mustard snob, I'm not going to lie. So if we're talking mustard, there is a right and a wrong mustard.
Okay.
Straight yellow mustard is pretty trash.
I don't agree.
That's just a fact. Well, you're wrong. I mean, you're literally wrong.
I mean,
we just did the tier list. My stance on mustard has been freshly documented. Wasn't it a C?
I think it might have been a B. I think it might have actually been a B.
How are you going to say this man hates mustard? He gave it B tier. That's crazy.
I mean, you know, here's the thing. I like mustard. I like ketchup too.
Spicy brown is superior. Yellow mustard
for one real big reason on both of them. They both have vinegar as a main ingredient.
That's true.
And a lot of white people food needs acid.
That's true.
It's just all a little fat and starch.
That's true.
And
that is true.
You know,
you're not wrong, but I don't know. Yellow mustard is hot garbage to me.
You can't tell me that like a hot dog does not need some acid.
No, but I would use spicy brown.
I would prefer to use spicy brown too.
I'm never reaching for a plain yellow. There's not one instance where a plain yellow hits harder than a spicy brown for me.
Throw House in the chat put plain yellow on a ham and cheese sandwich hits though. Ew. Okay, who's taking the ice type? Someone needs to take the ice type. Good job.
Mega Man's taking it.
Thank you, Mega.
I kind of want to keep mine because I like poison jab.
And it has a follow-up question to this question that wasn't actually asked, but we have tangented it onto. If you could only have mustard or mustaches, which would you pick? Oh, yeet the mustard into the stratosphere.
Wait, you want a mustache?
I mean...
Oh, Porygon has Ice Beam.
I kind of already have a mustache.
No, you have a beard. That's not the same.
Yeah, but...
Are we doing that thing? Are we doing that thing, really? It's like... You have a goatee then, too, right? So, like, what does that mean?
I mean, it's like thinner. It's, you know... Whatever, I'd rock the regular stash.
I got a new clippers the other day because I have hated my face clippers. And I don't know if you could tell. I went a little short by accident.
Mm-hmm. No, it's definitely a lot more fresher faced than normal.
Yeah, I feel like I look like I'm 12.
You don't.
Good.
I mean, that's just. I guess that's not true. I don't know what you look like as a 12-year-old.
Kind of like this. The mustache is the most prominent part in Alec's beard. That's crazy.
It is the most prominent part of my beard. It is. it is left longer than the rest.
That's crazy.
Moving on.
Moving on to the next question. From
What is
sorry, now I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you can answer this one.
You went back. Okay, got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to start with the other one, the coffee one.
It's okay. You asked this question. It's all right if I don't always need to have an opinion.
You might have an opinion, though, I just don't know.
Contrary to everything about me, I don't always need to have an opinion.
Oh, I thought you did have to have an opinion.
No.
Okay. So the question is, dream camera setup. Body lens, maybe an accessory or two. Let's assume you're set up to carry, haul, whatever it is you choose. This is a great question. It's a great question because there's so many options. There's so many ways you could take this. Now, for my photography style, just because I'm a fanboy, I'm taking my Nikon. Now, if it's a dream setup, money's no object, if that's what we're saying here, I'm taking the new Z9, which is a mirrorless body. I think it's like $8,000.
You gotta select a move.
I think it's like $8,000. And that comes with no lens. That's just the body. So like I don't have that, but that would be cool. And then I would take probably, honestly, this is a cool fucking thing to say. I have it. I would take my 24-70 VR f2.8, which is a lens I already have. I'm very happy about that. But then I would also probably want to take. I haven't used this lens, but I saw that I think it was a 400 millimeter Nikon just put out. A 400 millimeter that is an f2.8. F2.8, just for those who don't know, refers to the aperture rating. Lower the number is better because it means it lets more light in. Photography is all about light and manipulation of light. So this is a 400 millimeter lens, so it zooms, and it's got an f2.8, which means it's going to be like huge. It's going to be like this wide, and then probably like that long. So probably those two lenses, Z9, and then a bunch of Peak Design gear. Everything in a Peak Design bag. F6.9. Cool. W joke. W joke.
So all I got from that was you said VR, I think, when talking about a lens.
Vibration reduction.
And now all that's going through my brain is we are VR troopers, virtual reality. Yeah. So VR troopers, underrated show.
Vibration reduction. So you can use a lower shutter speed and not have a shaky photo.
Here's my answer to this question. I would like a camera that looks good and just does what I want it to do when I plug it in.
AJ said whatever camera they use in Pokemon Snap. Maybe.
That's a good camera.
Are you familiar with that
That's
camera?
A good camera.
That seems like one you've probably used.
I have Poke Snapped before.
I'm gonna take this because I have the lowest health.
I do enjoy a Polaroid. I have like a little photo printer that prints little tiny like Polaroid ass looking things. Yeah.
So Mimi in chat says, I wouldn't necessarily say a lower f-stop is better, but I do love the option of depth of field. And that's a fact. I'm not talking about better in the sense of like a better photo. That depends on the artistic perspective. I mean better at being able to manipulate the light. It gives you more... Was this a good Pokemon? It's Palkia. Is this good?
No.
Oh, you're just happy it's not Zygarde.
I didn't choose Zygarde.
But I just meant the flexibility, more so the flexibility, Mimi. I know Mimi does photography, so they definitely are familiar with the aperture variables.
So I had one
but
of those,
they're certainly right.
Little handheld Nikon, like little tiny Nikons in the early aughts that like the lens rotated. Yeah. I liked that. It was cool.
You should just use an iPhone.
No.
I'm kind of upset because now all our planning is for naught. Because what's Palkia? Isn't it steel?
What do you mean? Yeah,
so it doesn't have a resistance dice?
No, this is Water Dragon. The other
Dialga is Steel Dragon. Wait, but water has the resistance dice.
I don't know. I'm just
Right?
like Dragon Rush.
Because it's
and
not
missing.
it's not 2 times. It's not super effective.
Yeah, I guess.
What a bitch.
Oh yeah, because freeze dry. Freeze
Um,
dry is the move that you
and
use on water types.
Exactly what Mimi said. They've shot ads and commercials with iPhones. I mean, if you are good with a camera, nobody's going to be able to tell it was shot on an iPhone.
I don't disagree that an iPhone does a good job.
Because it does. That's why you don't disagree.
I just don't need to be in the Apple ecosystem. I'm good without it.
You probably should be in the Apple ecosystem. It's probably
I'm good without it.
Nah,
I'm
probably
good without
better
it.
for you.
I was at one point in my life, and I'm
Pretty good.
good.
I'm pretty good about knowing what's good for people.
I'm fine.
Okay.
Just,
Well, Mega Man had a question.
okay.
I'll let you answer this one. The question is, what is your favorite family tradition? It does not have to be holiday related.
That's the hard one for me. Mine is holiday related.
I mean, that's okay too.
Which is okay. Christmas morning, I used to make breakfast for my mom and my siblings when I lived in the same state as them, because Christmas in general is like the worst holiday in the world with my family, because there's so much of them, and it's so meticulously planned and never works out correctly. And I used to volunteer to work like full 8-hour days on Christmas once I got a job, because
Just to
it
get
got me
out of it. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
There's your excuse.
I would close at Starbucks on Christmas Day to get out of family gatherings. But cooking my mom breakfast in the morning was nice and peaceful. So that's. What about you, friend?
Man, I'm trying to think, because I feel like most of our family traditions are also like holiday, in some capacity, adjacent.
I mean, it's the easy time to get together.
Yeah. The most notable one I feel like is like every Christmas Eve, my family would always go downtown, and like Portland downtown, and Christmas would always do a lot of like decorations, and like back when Myron Frank was a thing, they would do like the 12 days of Christmas, you know, like in the windows as animatronic like setups and stuff, and it was like a really cool thing. Every year we would go and do that. But we haven't done that in a long time, and as everyone has kind of gotten older, we don't really have any family traditions anymore. We used to there was a restaurant downtown called Mother's. That was a place we would always go to Mother's on Christmas Eve. And I think Mother's didn't make it out of COVID. So it's just kind of disappearing. The traditions are kind of going away.
The world is different.
It do be different.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's kind of, I wish I had a better answer, because I think family traditions are important. One thing that I'm trying to do with my family now as an adult, like my chosen family rather than like the family I was born into. I was I want to institute like a game night situation where it's like, hey, every whatever, we like get a pizza and do a card game. So something like that.
Actually, my friends and I have actually kind of started doing something like this. Once a month, we have a movie night where we also all contribute to the food. And so at the previous movie night, we pick a genre and everyone brings a film from that genre. And then we vote on whose film we're going to watch.
Are you not allowed to vote for your own film?
You're not allowed to vote for your own film. And then the winner picks the next genre.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the food things are always like we did like baked potato night. And so like the host made all the potatoes and everyone brought the toppings and stuff like that. Awesome. Yeah.
I love that.
The last one was it started out as rice bowls, but it also coincided with a friend's birthday was the next day. And I'd been talking about how I used to work at a barbecue restaurant. I have like this smoked meat talent that just kind of goes to waste because I live in a house with one other person who's a vegetarian, so I'm not smoking meats here. And she's like, I love brisket, and so I smoked a brisket. So it was actually more brisket based than it was rice bowl based. But
Oh, you just did that too, right?
yeah, just did that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a fun thing that we've been doing.
No shinies.
So I encourage that. Like, find cool things to do with your friends.
Yeah. For a while, like when Disney Plus was new, we went through and every weekend we would just pick a movie, taking turns, and go through the Disney Plus catalog because there were so many good Disney Channel original movies the kids hadn't seen.
Good.
There's some good movies, man. Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off, Double Teamed, Luck of the Irish. Luck of the Irish
God.
is goated. Fucking Half Full Court Miracle. Let's go.
Okay,
As
so,
a
like,
young Jewish kid, I'm telling you, Full Court Miracle.
Double Teamed, I'll totally agree with you on, because Double Teamed is actually a really great film.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna use the word film to describe it, but I don't know if there's many other DComs that I would describe as a film.
I mean, they're all films. They're classic films.
Yeah, but like the connotation that comes with the word film. Don't
This
think
ain't Hitchcock
DComs.
level.
Well, Hitchcock was gross.
Room is back up.
Woo! I did not pick Zygarde.
Don't believe you. Nobody got any shinies.
No, I didn't get a shiny either. But that's tradition.
That's
That's
true.
our
That is
tradition.
now. That's true. Tradition.
Tradition.
I just went full Fiddler on the Roof.
I mean, I can go right there with you.
Very appropriate. Very appropriate.
Like you're there from, a heritage aspect. I'm there from a musical theater aspect.
So from a timing perspective, maybe either this is the last one or one more after this.
Yeah. AJ's got a good question. Why are podcasts still called podcasts when iPod is dead? Why did other platform holders ever embrace the term? And what would the Beanscast be in the alternate universe where podcasts are called Zoomcasts?
Damn. Good question.
So, I think from, a business perspective,
Branding.
podcasts, I would say, are called podcasts because Apple didn't care about the trademark of a podcast. Because if Apple cared about the trademark, they wouldn't have let other people call them podcasts. It's like how, Nintendo actively fought against people just calling video game consoles Nintendos, which was the thing. If you are old as I am,
especially for suburban moms.
Yeah, a Sega, that was a Nintendo.
It says Dragon again, man. I don't know where to go with this, dude.
I did not do it.
Because there's an xCloud, which has Blizzard, which would be OP if it's like Rayquaza, but...
I picked Fire, which is a big mistake here because I'm probably Fluffy.
No, I think we've got 2 water types.
Okay. Why do other companies want to use that? I think because it's recognizable.
It's the same reason why so many companies that aren't Apple make whatever.
Yeah, you want people to understand what it is, and
they're piggybacking the branding and marketing.
Yeah, common knowledge is this is what a podcast is.
Mm-hmm.
And then what will we be called in the world of Zoomcast?
That's crazy. I don't think we'd exist because
I
have a feeling Elon Musk owns everything in that universe.
I think in the world of Zoomcast, I went deaf in 2007 from just my Zune short circuiting and playing so loud that I lost all ability to hear.
I think I stopped listening to music.
Yeah,
I didn't own an iPod. It's like, what do you do?
Because Elon Musk taxed you per second.
I don't know, man.
On your Zune.
Something. Probably because I never bought a Windows computer, and Apple was stubbornly like, no, iTunes will never go onto a Zune. And so I just stopped listening to music.
I actually did not ever own a Zune, which I feel like is going to be surprising to people. but I didn't have a Zune.
Who the fuck owned a Zune? Bob owned a
Apparently
Zune.
Bob.
He's talked about that. Yeah, he's talked about that on his fucking streams. That's crazy.
I had an iPod Nano. Was Nano the clippy one? Which one looked like a hair clip?
Yeah, there was a couple. Was it? Because the Mini, the Nano, there was more generations of the Nano. Yeah, because it used to have a screen, and then they got rid of the screen entirely.
Yeah,
I'm fucked here, dude.
Yeah, we all are. This was a bad choice, but that's okay. We live with the decisions that we make.
Do we not have two? I thought we had two water types for some reason.
We don't. I don't even know if this Slowbro has a water type move.
That would be very on brand.
But yeah, I had that, and then I got an iPod Touch.
We're getting confirmation from chatters.
Those are my...
Indeed. The Nano had a little Cheez-It looking thing. Oh, wait, Inda says Shuffle.
No, it is the Shuffle.
Shuffle sounds right. Shuffle sounds right.
It is the Shuffle. I had a Shuffle.
Nano had a screen.
Nano had a
Shuffle
screen.
didn't have the screen. Yeah, that's what it was.
I had a Shuffle, and then I got a Touch.
I have no water moves. This game sucks ass, dude.
Gen 9 when?
Gen 9 when, dude? Gen 9 max raids when?
Oh, God. It's going to be so sad if there's no multiplayer, which is not a sentence that I ever thought I would say. Communication error. I got cut off.
Lucky bastard.
Not really. Okay.
They had iPods and NZ. Oh, they probably just got the Shuffle and NZ right now.
Have fun with
dying. We're gonna die. We're gonna lose.
I don't know if I keep playing. The
game gets mad if you quit.
I know. It shames me.
I gotta stop using flamethrower. I'm just mashing A because I'm like, we're fucked. All of my attacks are not very effective, so...
I'm now playing with Kit, Portia, and Amelia. Just so y'all know.
Kit is an asshole. Kit actually does probably a lot of cocaine. Let's be honest.
Fuck Kit and his drug problem.
Narnia on the Gen 2 iPod Nano right now. That's probably a fact. I'm not gonna lie. They just got those. As Lance said, these people need nanos.
It's what you get for living in a closet. I mean,
damn.
Not a fan.
No comment.
Society made me, but you know.
Damn.
Not a fan.
He went there.
Follow-up question from AJ. Also, why does Trev not have the enforcer role in his own Discord?
It's redundant. It's unnecessary.
Because you can do... I just put this out there. I barely know how Discord works.
Oh. Yeah, I should probably make like an... Alec and I have talked about this, rebranding the Discord for like Beanscast stuff. Where like... we remake the roles related to beans, and then the creator role or whatever could be like head bean or some shit or some stupid
roaster
bean pod roaster something. But I never did that, and there was nothing that I can't do as like the owner role that putting myself in the enforcer role would allow me to do. It's not redundant because you are lower on the... Okay, that's true. That's true. On the right-hand side on the users list, my name is lower than the mods. That's true.
Inda says, can we just forget Discord and start an MSN Messenger group chat? I was only like AOL.
Good emojis
not
on MSN. Way better emojis on MSN.
I don't know. It wasn't a choice. It just... Like, I wasn't, like, actively neglecting MSN. I just
need to point out to fucking everybody right now. Slowbro, no water moves. Colossal, water move.
Oh, you guys were still on Colossal?
You know what? You're an asshole, okay?
Wow, that was harsh.
You're an asshole.
I mean, it's true, but like,
I mean, it's true. We had 2 deaths on Colossal. I don't know what to do here. We're almost certainly fucked regardless.
this is gonna be a sad end, but I do think it needs to be the end because we're over the 2.5 today. We did not do so good on the time.
That's okay.
Yeah,
We're learning.
we are every day. The more
Did y'all
you know.
use Microsoft Comic Chat? That sounds fake. That sounds made up.
Wait, what?
That sounds made up. I'm not gonna lie.
Is that some baby stuff?
That's some baby stuff.
Because Ben's a baby.
Yeah, Ben is a baby. That's true. We can't joke about him being 12 because he'll get banned. But
No, let's not get Ben banned.
what's the minimum age you can be on Twitch? 14? Ben's 14 for sure.
Ben, big 14.
Big 14.
Although,
times.
don't you have this set as mature?
Yeah. Oh, rip, dude.
Ben's just barely a legal adult.
Oh, okay, what is this? Microsoft Comic Chat. Later, Microsoft Chat is a graphic IRC client created by Microsoft, first released with Internet Explorer 3 in 1996. Fuck out of here, Ben. You never used no fucking Microsoft Comic Chat. Fucking 13, 14-year-old ass motherfucker. You didn't use no Microsoft Comic Chat. 96 ass. Get out of here. You can't even spell 1996.
What? What is this? Why didn't I use this? This is so much cooler
outta
than
here.
AOL. This is amazing.
You not using it is crazy. That's
robbed.
Everyone thought you were on this for sure.
I was 6.
He can't even spell 1996. He can't. Zoomers got an issue. Their worldview started at the year 2000.
Yep. That's a fact.
Honestly, probably for the best. Looking back on the 90s, a lot of cringe shit.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know, man. Racists had a field day in the 90s.
But Bush wasn't until the 2000s.
I mean, the first one, though.
That first one, yeah. It's true.
Taking 3 hours to get on the internet to use that shit. Mom picking up the phone and ruining the chat. That's a fact.
So I never had that experience of like someone picking up the phone and ruining it.
Did you have a dedicated internet line?
No, we just didn't ever use the landline.
Oh.
My mom had a cell phone really early for work.
Oh, okay.
And then it was super cheap to just get me an extra line. And so like I had a cell phone at like 12.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And
what?
It's a great Pokemon to end on.
What is it? Oh, wait. Oh, do you know the Pokemon now? What is it?
I'm already there.
It's fucking Zygarde, isn't it?
It sure is.
It's fucking Zygarde. Oh my god, dude. Somebody needs to take this Exploud then because it's got Blizzard.
What were y'all's AIMs? I don't remember. I legitimately do not remember.
I had
like
a bunch.
Any screen name after like a year of not using it.
I had a bunch of screen names.
Except for my Zanga, which I will never say out loud because I don't know how to delete it, and if it's still there, I don't want anyone to see it.
What is it?
I'm not telling you. My Zanga screen name will die with me.
I don't remember all. I had a bunch of screen names, but I don't remember all of them. I had one based off of like an old Rise Against song, Swing Life Away. It's for sure like some XX, Swing Life Away, XX kind of a shit.
So like in my current battle against Zygarde with the CPUs, no one has died yet. And he's half-life.
You're gonna lose.
Imagine if I won Zygarde with CPUs.
You're gonna lose. Shut up. Don't be a hoe. Thrill
That
House
would
says
be-
solid song. Thrill House is a man of culture. We all now know.
Inda said, "What's Zanga?" Zanga was a blogging platform. You had a blog. You followed your friends' blogs. It was a social blogging platform, like LiveJournal. It was very similar to LiveJournal. It was a little more MySpacey than LiveJournal is.
MySpace is cringe.
Yeah.
I can't believe that time existed in our lives.
Also, I realized that my reference of what it was like was another old social media, so
That probably most people could not relate to. Probably more
most
obscure,
people could not
arguably.
relate to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't compare Zanga to Tumblr though. Red just mouthed Tumblr at me, but
I mean, Tumblr was definitely the most common blog site.
yeah, but it's a feed. Like Twitter is a feed, whereas none of these were really like feeds. Like you went to your friend's page to see their shit. You had to go to their profile essentially. Oh, because I got. What? Did I not? I think
What?
because I got DC'd mid Colossal, I don't get to choose from Colossal. So that Colossal
Correct.
is probably shiny.
It was always certainly shiny. You
It's
beat
certainly
Zygarde?
Shiny. No, I lost.
Oh, I fucking knew it. You lying ass. None of us have died yet. Liar. Fucking. That's crazy.
No, we hadn't, but then like we all did.
We all only had 2 HP left at the time of recording.
Listen, Zygarde's got a lot of spread moves, a lot of AOE's.
That's a fact. So we do have another question from Eric. I don't know how to answer these though.
Okay,
He said, "Are rhinos born horn first?"
absolutely not.
Okay, good answer. I'm gonna go with that. Did we go to the moon when it was full?
So this is a question that we could actually look up. Technically, like we could find that out, but I'm gonna say that's against the rules here, and that no, we went to the moon when it was just a seedling. It was just a tiny moon that could fit in the palm of Neil Armstrong's hand, and he whispered to it, "Someday, moon, you will be big and strong, like me." And it just grew.
L joke. What?
Did you write this? Did you transcribe this wrong?
Transcribe
Or
what?
did Eric ask it wrong? Because
Do what?
Inda is basically saying that that's not how the question's supposed to work.
It was how did. What? I'm literally looking at it. I'm literally looking at it.
Did we go to the? Yeah, it should say how did we go to the moon? If it wasn't full, I don't know. Eric botched the question.
Eric said that he literally just asked us not to answer his questions. I'm looking at it right now though, Inda. I'll post.
I was tired of being stupid. Well, guess what? Guess what? There are consequences to your actions.
Yeah, there are no questions we won't answer. You son of a bitch.
We're pulling you over right now, and we're saying, "Sir, do you know how stupid your questions were?"
Yo, Inda said maybe my brain auto-corrected it, but that still doesn't make sense. How did we go to the moon when it was full? That doesn't make sense.
I would, if it was like, how did we go to the moon when it wasn't full? Then I could see that's like a jokey question, because like the idea that some of the moon is missing, and how do you land on it if some of it's missing?
That's
I
hilarious.
guess.
Zygarde literally just literally killed us in one hit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I think it did. I think we're done. Yeah, that's done. We're it. Cool.
Cool. Well, any final thoughts before we wrap up here?
Not really. It's been a little bit of a long one, but I don't think that's bad. Hope it wasn't too much of a downer for people. Alec and I are passionate about people and politics because it's important.
I think I would say I'm passionate about other people being allowed to live their lives
I think that's
to
important.
a better than shitty degree.
I think that's important.
Yeah. So thanks for hanging out, everyone.
Yep.
Thanks for asking questions. Thanks for commenting along in the chat. Beanscast episode 5 should be live next week around the same time on Sunday. All going well. Follow the Twitter for any updates on that. Join the Discord.
Link will be in the description.
Link will be in the description. And subscribe on YouTube to hit the VOD. Watch it then. We should write this exit. We should write the outro down.
Yeah, it always just kind of is like a little awkward. But we'll just do this. We'll just say have a great day and thanks for tuning in. And then I'll just do this because we can cheat. Bye.